here, just as I went to go live, videotaping the property. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing today? Y'all, some of you guys are so on my wavelengths. Somebody, Kaika sent me this video that I want to go through today. Hatfield, the McCoys, they did an interview of Chris, if you haven't heard it, that they didn't release right away. But it would have been, gosh, I'd have to go back. It was done just after they found, oh my God, the guy on the eye was at 28. It was probably just around the time, 10 months ago then. It would have been about 10 months ago-ish, because just putting the pieces together of when I saw the deer leading me towards that house. Hey, sweetie. Hi, Joni. I'm going to go and say hi to everybody in a minute. That was after the night after I saw them looking, not the Hatfields and McCoys, but the police looking for that shooter, and they found him a few days later. So they called Chris shortly after that, according to their own recording. So I think it would be fair to say that it was 10 months-ish ago. So let's go and listen to it with fresh eyes. But I first want to say, are there questions I wish they asked of him that they didn't? Yes. Love those two, though. I think we all love their energy. They're just phenomenal, right? I mean, they're phenomenal. And certainly, he's got some experience after 40 years in law enforcement. I'm not sure that they know a lot about CP or did at the time. But man, because it was be clear to me that he had no intentions of ever showing up for them for the second interview that they asked him about in that conversation. If they knew the personality that we had seen, and I just think they just really, as by their own admission, really didn't cover a lot of Sebastian. And so they just wouldn't know what they don't know. Just going to try to align it so you're not looking at my piles of shelves that have to be put up on the wall still. Anyway, I think they're lovely, but maybe we're a little bit misguided in their search for truth and not to be judgmental in this interview, which I respect. And I respect it so much that I was listening, and maybe it's because we've all been following Baby Emmanuel, which we're going to do a live tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. I was going to do readings, like I said last night, and this is why it's so hard for me to tell you and promise you what I'm going to do, because in true crime, it really depends on what new evidence comes out. Because everybody wants the top of the minute, top of the hour news, right? We all do. And it also depends on how well I sleep and my energy. But my energy is good because I worked the Find Me Group case last night. Jen, if you're listening to this at a later date, Jen's been working on that case for a long time, and I got some very, very distinct, clear messages immediately. Anyways, all that to say, maybe I'm comparing the two cases. You know, the Jake Harrow's past and Chris Proudfoot's past is not, shining either. But like one, like Harrow looks like, I mean, I have no words that would be fair to him to use to describe. I mean, I think he's just a monster. And the scariest part for me is when you look at him, and maybe that's the eyes I want to go into this interview with Chris Proudfoot. Maybe just talking it out with y'all here, I'm kind of discovering a perspective. When you look at Jake Harrow, if you walked into him in a Walmart, if we didn't know his history, he doesn't look. He's not wearing a sign that says, I abuse infants. He doesn't look like, or I beat the crap out of my wife every night. He's not wearing that sign, but he doesn't look suspicious. And when you listen into Chris Proudfoot's interview, he doesn't sound suspicious, in my opinion. Why? Why is that? Are those the markings of a sociopath? Question mark. Because I know my mother was one, a distinct narcissist. And to this day, I'm sure people that know her, if they saw the evidence of what she did to my dad, their mouths would drop to the floor. Like, and regrettably, I got a coaching talk for half an hour with the police about sociopaths. And the reason we can't tell they're sociopaths is because they're so good at manipulating us into believing their innocence and that they're just God's gift to humanity. They're so perfect. And they have to be that way. They have to learn to be that way. Otherwise, they wouldn't get away with the things they get away with. So, is that what's going on here in this interview? Because Chris Proudfoot, disappointingly to me, sounds normal, not defensive, and innocent. Is he just a textbook sociopath capable of completely deceiving people? Because we've seen the other side of Chris Proudfoot, where he certainly sounds like a sociopath lunatic, but not in this interview. Not in this interview. And he admits in this interview he's got two sides to himself. Yeah, we've seen those sides. But don't we all? I mean, y'all have seen me praying and meditating and sending loving, healing energy. And then you've all seen me going, losing my shit on a stream. I mean, that's the human personality for most of us, right? For most of us. So I guess I'm trying to understand why I was so, I don't want to say disappointed, but because I don't want that to reflect on the interviewers, because I think they're phenomenal. But I was hoping for more juice out of that interview. I'm not going to lie. I was hoping. So maybe y'all with keen ears will give me some more juice when we go through it together. I mean, it's very telling after their interview, the McCoys, Hatfields and McCoys, Sheila and Fred, give a different perspective than they did going into the interview. And I appreciate that. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty. And they give some opinions that slightly convey a different feeling afterwards, but not for the reasons you think. They give a different feeling afterwards because they asked Chris, what just happened to my screen? And I just got like this wave of dizziness. So weird. Did y'all see my screen go blurry? Or is that my wave of dizziness? Like it keeps going blurry. Maybe it's my eyes. They asked Chris to come back and do a second interview with Katie and thought that he said no problem. But then he ditched them. He ditched them afterwards. He went back on his word and decided not to give a second interview. And that's what had them sort of, KP says, and she did, we want the story out there. So why aren't you willing to share the story, KP? Why do interviews intimidate you so much? Right? Begs the question. So there's that's suspicious. But let's listen in. Let's dig in deeper because I listened to it while I was on a hike today. So let's listen deeper again and see if we can pick up. There's a couple of times where I think I can see his control and need to control the narrative and how he kind of answers in a way that kind of directs the conversation in a little bit slightly different direction. But man, if he is responsible for Sebastian's disappearance, he's a master manipulator and liar, I think, just my opinion, or has the capacity to be the master manipulator and liar. So let's I'm gonna pull it up, and I'm just anxious to hear and curious to hear if y'all hear something differently than I heard it. If I'm just comparing him to the likes rather of Jake Harrow, and I mean that guy's as low can go, right? As my perspective shifted because now we see true demonic evil without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, I'll eat my own words. I will apologize publicly if I'm wrong about Jake Harrow. But man, we're learning. We're learning. I mean, this is the third suspect. I mean, one he's pled guilty to. The other child was born with alcohol fetal syndrome. I mean, I think if there wasn't a glaringly obvious guilty parent in any true crime case, if this wasn't it, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. So I think anybody looks innocent beside him. So I don't know, y'all. I'm coming to Sebastian Rogers again, like I've said, with fresh new eyes. I'm trying to. Because if you don't know, I have volunteered as a psychic medium with the Find Me group if you're new here since 2018. And when I started this case with Sebastian, I was still going through my own PTSD and trauma, and I wasn't very certain about my messages that I was getting. And I can tell you, just compared to how the message came in to me last night on the case I worked on for the Find Me group, I need to go back to Sebastian because I was way more clear and it was instant. I'm anxious to talk to Jen about it because we don't normally talk about cases, by the way, ever. Haven't once. And I don't, I'll let Jen tell you why this one's a little bit different. Anyway, I definitely realized last night, like I'm getting it back. I'm getting it back. I'm getting my visions and everything more clear and my downloads, and I'm getting it back. So I'd like to go back with fresh eyes with Chris. And I know that's hard to do, y'all, because we have formed some serious opinions of him, all of us, myself included, and they're not very good ones. But what if Sebastian did run away? The only, truthfully, reason that I am doubtful of that scenario is the footage, the audio that I have, and the video footage. Now, what is interesting about this clip is Chris actually says that's one interesting bit. His two theories of what could have happened to Sebastian. And one of them is he talks about the car. That the second one is that he could have been picked up by a car. So we did also get a confirmation on some other information that maybe has been up for debate. So it's worth listening to. I'm just saying, well, I was looking for, the heated, defiant a-hole that we normally hear from, that we're kind of accustomed to. And that guy didn't show up, which is interesting and curious. So, but he also has this theory that this car maybe that Sebastian either ran away or this went to arrange to meet somebody or something happened and this car picked him up. So I mean, is he saying himself that the flashlight footage is valid because it comes from his own house, right? So it comes from his own home. So that's the part that has me going back to, is he just a really, really skilled manipulator? And is he potentially even manipulated the police? Not sure. Not sure. But let's get into it. We're going to watch it. Just before I go up really close to the screen so you don't have to look at my nostrils, I will pull it up. Yeah. You know, true crime. There was a day. Do y'all remember? And they said that on this that anybody could share it, no permission needed. So we're gonna still honor and give them full credit. So I'm just typing that in. Okay. Okay. So let's listen in. But first, I'm going to say hi to everybody. Hope, honey, and Beverly. For some reason, I know Hope, you've emailed me your email way long ago. I just can't find it. It's buried in my email. And Beverly, if y'all could email me, and then I can do a better job of sending you out a notice. It won't be the night before though, regrettably, because then I can't. It won't be the night before because I cannot promise in true crime that I know what's going to happen. So welcome in everybody. Thanks to the mods. Don't forget to thank them. Let's listen to the interview. Let's keep our listening ears on. But man, yeah, I just have to get my Facebook up, honey. I still have to get that done. I will. So let's listen to this.
Hi guys, hope you're having a great morning. It's Fred and Sheila with Hatfield McCoy Museum Adventures and FS Investigates.
Hey guys, we're kind of getting used to this now.
The way she says it, because it's not, but the way she says it is like half-assed because she says it so quickly. I had to go back and rewind this when I first listened. I'm like, and then I saw their screensaver at the beginning. I'm like, okay.
500, 600, 700 videos.
Yeah. Oh, they're so cute.
Guys,
love this couple.
It's going to be an interesting video, we think. This is a telephone conversation that we had with Chris.
Hello, sweetie.
Proudfoot. Been about a year ago. You know, we didn't advertise it. We taped it.
Right.
When we did it, but we didn't advertise it or anything like that. We hadn't even thought about it anymore until the Jaden case and people started up again about
Thank you,
Sebastian.
sweetie, for doing the YouTubies. Hello,
wanting us to join the search. A lot of people didn't know that we had joined the search way back. We've been there and done that.
Beverly.
This is going to be another one of them cases that we think the police is going to have to solve. We think
Abby, welcome.
We think somebody's going to have to help solve it. We think the perpetrator
or
perpetrators are going to have to help solve this case.
Now, that you made one live.
We had contacted. We're going to play you a tape recording. It's a long tape recording of a telephone conversation Sheila and I had.
Welcome, honey.
With Chris Proudfoot.
Yeah.
For you.
Go ahead, babe.
We had contacted him. Somebody had shared a video with him, I think.
Welcome.
But we had contacted him to see if they would do an interview with us, and we didn't get a response the first time. I think it went to voicemail or something.
Krista, welcome in, honey.
And then a little bit after that,
All
He
right, Danielle,
called.
welcome in.
And
Hey, Chris,
so
nice
it
to
was
see
a
you, honey.
very long conversation. And we'll play that whenever you would like to get started. But it was interesting.
That will come up. We're going to play you the entire, and I'm not going to interrupt like I do sometimes, especially on Fred McCoy 40, my channel. I won't interrupt. I'll let it play in its entirety. And if you want to stick around afterwards, Sheila and I will go over some things that we picked up on it, we think. And,
Okay.
you know, a lot of people don't know our channel. They don't know what our qualifications, if we have any qualifications. You know, our main qualification anymore is right there.
Good Lord.
The good Lord. That's the only qualification we need.
Right.
But Sheila, we both retired. Me with 40 years as a police officer. Sheila with 29 years, 28 years with
I know
Board
they
of
are.
Education. She went back. She retired, but she went back to substitute teaching this last year.
Yep, I said.
And retire and hopefully just travel and do videos. But that's our extent of. And we started out investigating Hatfield McCoy history to show people all the things that was incorrect in it, and somehow we got on other things. So,
yeah.
Once again, getting a lot of comments on Sebastian, so we thought we'd go back and visit it.
Yeah, we had a lot of people to ask us if we had ever thought about doing a video on Sebastian, which we had done, but now we're going to play the conversation that we had.
He's of course he's been missing since February the 26th.
Yeah.
This is not going to be your normal video, as we're going to play the taped conversation. Now we know we keep mentioning that, but we're going to play you one other one before we do that.
Okay.
And then about right here, Sheila is going to post, is it legal? Is it legal to tape somebody on the telephone in Tennessee or Kentucky, or a lot of states have the same laws
I know, Marie
nowadays
they
pertaining to that. And
they are as sweet as pie. They really, really are, Marie Carey. And I'm assuming they didn't tell Chris they were taping him, otherwise they wouldn't be posting it. But he's law enforcement. He had 40 years, and she was a teacher prior to this. So certainly great with people, certainly know about the education system. I would love, in fact, I should message her about the theory about residential schools and see if she knows anything about that. We are going to keep walking down that road too, by the way, everybody. Yeah, they are adorable. So doing the YouTube things, yes, and I am much more zen, Chris. The energy was wild last week, and I zenned out, and I'm just trying to maintain that because that's when I do best with my visions and everything as well. So yes, Kitty, absolutely. They're just gorgeous. I mean, they're just gorgeous people.
I'll post that there so they can read that for themselves.
Reading that about right now. We've got a disclaimer on this video, because this video here, when we talked to Chris Proudfoot, we were looking for an interview. And like Sheila and I said, when we were looking for Jaden and hollering at Jaden's mother and stepfather across the, hey, Josh, hey, we got something we want to run by you.
Right.
We didn't holler out and say, hey, did you guys kill Jaden? We didn't holler out all these accusations.
No.
Or they're not going to talk to us. And that's the same way we did on this phone conversation. We were very nice. He was very nice.
Actually, he was.
But we didn't get on that. We asked them, people saying this, people saying that. How can they say that with no proof? How can they? We're going to give you a platform for you and Katie to talk to us. And we've got some questions for you. We don't care to send you the questions in advance.
Yep.
We were trying to get them in there. I ain't going to say reel them in, but we were trying to convince him that we're fair. We're not going to come on there and call you a
milk cow
or accuse you. Yeah, right. We're not going to come on there and accuse you with no proof. But So we're going to put a disclaimer here.
Right.
Everything we say is allegedly speculation for entertainment. It's our opinion. It's hypothetical.
Yep.
And
And views that we express on our own.
is our own.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not responsible. We're simply fishing. We're fishing for information.
Hey, Lord Lama.
We don't care where we fish at. We don't care whose pond we fish in.
That's what I was thinking.
What did you say?
Because you were talking about fishing, so I was thinking pond. So
We don't care whose pond we fish in. We don't care who we insult. That's not our goal to
right.
insult anybody, but if the shoe fits, strap that puppy on and wear it. One viewer made a
So cute.
lot of sense. On our live that we did the other day, we remembered the name because it's a special name. It's a funny name. And she wrote in another message, she said, don't go by my name. That's just my
handle.
Yeah, my handle.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm not really
I
that
gotta
way.
turn this off and turn the lights
she
off. My
made a good
eyes are
point.
like
And
watering.
she said, well, Katie said that she wanted to keep it in the news. Well, we're going to try to abide by what Katie and Chris want.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to keep it in the news, by George, let's keep it out there.
Okay.
And we think this video that we're going to play of the phone conversation and what we want police officers, the FBI, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations, all these people, JLR, crime,
True hidden crime.
lady,
Law and crime.
law and crime, Elizabeth from
Hillbilly
Crimes. Any YouTubers out there, I don't know if Duty Ron covered this case or not. He probably did, but Duty Ron, all these people that's got hundreds of thousands of subscribers, share it. Guys, once again, on mine and Sheila's videos, anybody's welcome to use
Sure.
anything, all or part. We don't care. We just want the things that we cover. We like to get the word out there. You don't have to ask permission. You do what you want. We're going to play this first video, babe.
Okay. All right. Just a second here. I'll put.
Keep searching. People keep looking. Keep searching. Keep looking. We keep putting up new flyers. I know a lot of places, they take them down after so long. We just keep going back and putting more up. I refer to my original request just to anyone that's willing. Don't let him become forgotten. Don't let him become lost in the next story. Not to supersede other children, because they all deserve just as much, if not more, attention, because all children do. But I would say just please don't let him become forgotten and lost, because we're never gonna stop. We're never gonna let that happen if we can help it. It's that we should.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Back here.
That's good. Please don't let him be forgotten. Don't let him be lost. Let's keep it in the news. Okay.
Right.
Let's
There we go.
help her with her wishes, a mother's wishes. You know, something that just hit me there when she was talking was, and this is not in our notes, we haven't even discussed it, but I know Sheila is too. As soon as I say this, I wonder if that poster that was in their yard when we passed by there last year is still there of Sebastian. I wonder if they've still got it in their yard.
Oh, interesting.
We don't know. Hopefully they do.
Yeah.
And probably.
Did they not move since then, y'all? Do they still own both houses? I'm so out of the loop. Do Chris and KP still own the two houses? Have they sold the one in Hendersonville yet? Do y'all know? Great question. Well, then in that case, it just may be his style, right? And unassuming. But yeah, I'm interested to know. You don't know either? Yeah. Something tells me they wouldn't have it there, even if they lived there anymore on the lawn, but I could be wrong.
We do, but
They probably
that's a good question, because she was talking about how they stay up for so long and people take them down. A parent's yard, the poster should remain up. I would have a banner out there.
Yeah. Maybe a billboard.
Yeah. why hang up posters? You know, Katie said, let's hang up posters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to continue to hang up posters. Of course, they take them down after a while. Well, guys, posters are ancient. We now have the internet and
There's
social media. You know, guys, it's like I seen on somebody's comment on somebody's page channel, and it said it was from Sarah Williams, 9025. I will tell you one thing: if my autistic son went missing, I wouldn't move. I'd be begging for interviews in print, on YouTube, TV, etc. That's
wow,
us.
Yeah.
You're going to hear Sheila and I in this conversation with Chris Proudfoot,
Proudfoot. Yes.
practically beg. Thank you, babe.
You're welcome.
Practically beg. And that's why Sheila doesn't talk a lot, guys. Sheila's mainly here to keep me in line and make sure what I say is straight. But
Well, with everything that we've got going on, you know, we do have the internet now, and we do have the YouTube and X and
Twitter and all that
all
stuff.
those other things. I mean, that they could do interviews on that would help get the word out. Yeah.
Well, we actually begged. We're begging Chris
Yeah.
to set it up with Katie. And he said, I'm going to check with Katie. I'm going to ask Katie.
He said he would be open to it.
Katie's
but
on here.
run
Yeah.
it by her.
Katie's on here saying, please keep it going. Please keep it in the news. Please keep it out there. Well, we don't have but 25,000 subscribers, but we've got a whole lot of viewers. A whole lot of people view. They may not subscribe, but a lot of people views our videos. That comes through when you see your YouTube
Right.
chart. We went 3 times, and finally the motor blew up on our vehicle. Actually, guys, we were doing a video on something else. Was it
Their
the
motor
lady
blew
that
up on their
it comes
vehicle
up in this?
when they were trying to go down to Hendersonville. Y'all, that's interesting given all the vehicles that have had problems down that way. Maybe just completely a coincidence. I know. Well, this is the thing. So very curious.
Yeah,
Talina Fields.
Talina Fields. It comes up while we're talking to Chris in this conversation. And we tell him we'd come down there before. We went to Talina Fields, the lady that cooked her mother, murdered her mother and cooked her.
Yes. Beautiful.
And we talked about how our vehicle broke down. We had to put it in a garage, and it did. And it cost us like $350, $400. We got it out, and we got started towards Sebastian's again, towards Hendersonville, Tennessee.
Yep.
And we got on the Cumberland Parkway right there at I-65, and we broke down again. It blew up number 3 plug and coil out, messed the motor up. They had stripped the plug and had to re-tap it.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
Okay, so that's a complete coincidence. I missed that when I was walking. So a complete coincidence, it sounds like.
Threaded or something.
We had to buy a new motor.
Yeah. Y'all.
But the real stopper, you know, even though our vehicle broke down, we got our vehicle fixed. And even though it broke down, that wasn't the real stopper from us from going to Tennessee. The real stopper was when Chris didn't get back to us.
Yeah.
I texted him a couple more times. He didn't get back. If you don't care, show those texts.
Okay.
Show the text message. Show anything we got.
But they started filing lawsuits.
They filed a lawsuit.
YouTubers,
At least one. And threatened more.
Other one's got I think it was like a cease and desist or something.
You're saying that you want coverage for Sebastian?
Yeah.
But you say you're going to sue people? Guys, listen, we realize no one should be harassed. But was that just an excuse? We don't know. On one hand, they say they want attention for Sebastian. On the other hand, they're filing suits. Now, with that said, nobody should be harassed.
Exactly.
We don't think nobody should be harassed. But if my child's missing and you want to harass me, if harassing me gets my child back, I guess I'm just going to have to be harassed. No such thing as bad publicity. Good or bad.
No.
It was attention.
He's still getting.
No, YouTuber. They're just talking about their suit that they brought against Bullhorn Betty. That they were going to go down there, and then this lawsuit came out. And I was going to go down there and search, if y'all remember, because some of you guys were offering to pay for me to go down. One woman in particular, a subscriber, and we emailed back and forth. And I was going to go look for them, but then they just started getting scary with the threats. And no worries. And the threats and the lawsuits, it's just wild with that Bullhorn.
The attention.
For Sebastian.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sheila and I talked with Chris on the phone, and she's going to play that message now.
Yep.
We're going to talk afterwards. We're not going to interrupt.
Yeah, we're just going to let you all hear what was said, and then we'll talk after that.
Sheila don't like it when I interrupt, stop, start back. I'm sure you all don't either. So I'll try to remember what we talked about. At the end, I've made some notes.
Yeah.
And that's the reason I interrupt, because I forget what people said
I
throughout.
understand.
Any of you police officers out there, especially that worked the case, had dogs that did anything at all, when he gets on here talking, and
yeah, he said there was like 18 dogs they had there.
and when he gets on here talking, if you pick out anything that was said that it's not correct, bring it to somebody's attention, because we don't know. We don't know what he said, what he didn't. So she's going to play that video right here.
Mm-hmm.
Knew that it was you when it rang. We don't answer. I always let it go to voicemail. And I seen Nashville, and I told Sheila, I said, Chris,
Yep.
What about that?
He just told me.
Thanks for calling us, pal.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to pause this. Do you want no interruptions? Rika me. Okay, I won't. I mean, Rika can listen to it twice, because I do want to stop when I hear something suspicious, which is why I was trying not to interrupt at the beginning there with the intro. But we'll see how we do.
Thanks for calling us. I hope we're right, but we think you and Katie's been treated wrongly. We've been watching some of these videos and some of these people that's doing these shows, and until people's proven to have done something or something like that, there's so many rumors out there, and how do you defend against it? And we wanted to be able to maybe sit down and talk to you all one day. I'm a 40-year.
Oh yeah, I remember that now. Sorry. It's hard to focus on everything when you're looking at the stream and the buttons. And anyways, my apologies. I remember that now.
Retired police officer, and I've solved a few cases in my day. But Sheila and I, we found this body a while back. We're both retired. And we found this shooter on I-75 that had shot those 5 people. And it took us 6 days, and I just had a total change in my Christian life. Yep. And when I started on this Sebastian, people started texting us and say, check on Sebastian. We wasn't familiar with it. And then the more we start checking, the more I see that I used to use the F-bomb myself. I used to use some language, and I used to be real outspoken and tell people, you remind me of myself. And unless people's been accused of something, or how would they react? So anyway, our thing is that we're just, me and Sheila just want to see if someday we could chat with you and Katie, and we don't have to have no cameras or nothing else. We just want to be able to sit down and see if we can help some way, at least to clear up some of the misconceptions that people has.
it's honestly, it just gets to the point where everybody has said so much.
Mm-hmm.
We just, that's why we've kind of pushed away from the public eye and talking and getting out there. It's just,
I mean,
so there's, I'll give you what I can. There's some things I can't give you.
Understandable.
Because that's law enforcement's asked us not to.
Sure.
That's understandable.
Sure.
Yes, you would be correct as far as us physically being out in the woods with everybody in the initial days and all this about searching. Law enforcement said, we do not want you out. We do not want you to get in the middle of it, because if something comes about and we need to talk to you or get a hold of you, we know where to find you. Now,
makes sense.
That was said to all three parents, Seth, Katie, and myself. And we did exactly what they asked.
Sure.
Seth he's a grieving father. He's upset. He's missing his son. You know, I'm not going to speak for how he feels. I'm not going to try to explain why or what he is doing, why he's doing what he's doing. I don't know. When it comes to Katie and myself, we've literally listened to everything that law enforcement says ask. And it doesn't matter what it is. Like if they want something, they send me a message, send Katie a message, and they get it.
Sure.
I mean, it's not even a question. You know, I mean, if you want something, what do you want? Come get it.
Yeah.
In fact, I'll bring it to you. Whatever it is, I don't care. You know, I mean, we've been like that since day one.
YouTuber. That's what I was gonna say. Is he really been like that since day one? Because Marie Curie says he didn't really want people looking for Sebastian, right? He just said he's grieving. You don't grieve when someone dies. Yes, he does elaborate on that a little bit later, Krista. So great hearing. I'm wondering if he elaborates later to cover the tracks, because I know since day one, I know. Because he does talk about this again later in this interview, trying to justify it, if you will.
It's a constant battle with people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah.
We understand that. We had a lady call the other night, text Sheila from West Virginia, and said she's got some information, said y'all need to contact me. And I told Sheila, I said, ask her what part, her phone showed up West Virginia, and I said, ask her what part of Hendersonville she's from and where she has searched at down there. And she wrote back and said, no, I'm not from down that area. I haven't been down there. And then Sheila told her, said, we're sorry, dear. There's so many rumors out there. We don't need more rumors. You know, we're talking to people that know something about it, you know, because all she's going to do is tell us what she has watched on a video or read in the paper. And that's not how you solve cases or work cases.
I mean, I kind of feel like that may have been a misstep on their part, but he's the cop. He's the guy that's got the experience. But I mean, Virginia's got some prominence in this case. Maybe somebody knew something. I'm not sure. That's the only thing I wondered about as far as his assessment. Like, I don't know.
Sure. It's just not. But
well, everybody's upset. Like, I mean, so when you said me at work and all this, okay, well, I'm working in Memphis. I'm sitting in a tower crane as we speak right now.
Sure.
In Memphis on the St. Jude project. You know, I just left my house last night actually from Hendersonville to come back to work.
Sure.
But, you know, when all this initially went down, We called law enforcement. People have a hard time understanding, well, you call 911 because I don't need 911 when I know that I can call directly to the dispatch desk and get a dispatcher.
Do y'all believe that story? I know what you all are going to say. I know we're not going to be objective in the chat. Well, this is what's interesting, right? Because he had to have been, right? He had to have been. He had to have been. Yeah. 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 Let's listen to that again.
And where she has searched at down there. And she wrote back and said, no, I'm not from down that area. I haven't been down there. And then Sheila told her, said, we're sorry, dear. There's so many rumors out there. We don't need more rumors. We're talking to people that know something about it, because all she's going to do is tell us what she has watched on a video or read in the paper. And that's not how you solve cases or work cases, or it's just not. But
well, everybody's upset. So when you said me at work and all this, okay, well, I'm working in Memphis. I'm sitting in a tower crane as we speak right now.
Sure.
In Memphis on the St. Jude project.
I don't know if this is how Fred always talks, but he sounds when he says sure, like, yeah, buddy. Yeah, right. I don't know. This is just the vibe I get.
I just left my house last night actually from Hendersonville to come back to work.
Sure.
But, when all this initially went down, we called law enforcement. People have a hard time understanding, well, you call 911 because I don't need 911 when I know that I can call directly to the dispatch desk and get a dispatcher. Yeah, and you're out in the county. If we understand it, you're out in the sheriff's department boundary. You won't be in the. Yeah, I heard that, but Sheila and I talked about that. Why would you have to call if you know the number directly? Call the sheriff's office.
Yeah, only if you know someone intimately involved in the case or who you hope to get intimately involved with the case. I don't know. I think the average person calls 911 because that's what we're told to do, because that's where you're going to get the fastest response. I don't know. That story just never sat right with me. I don't know about y'all, but does not sit right with me.
Yeah. That's the stuff that everybody doesn't, I'm sorry. I know where I live. I know the numbers. Yeah. For God's sake, every parent should know your area. You should know your fire department. My fire department is a volunteer that's less than a quarter of a mile from my front door. Sure. That's my fire department. That's my EMS right there. Sure.
Okay.
Sure. We came down a while back.
I think she's.
I don't know. Like I said,
Sheila's okay sounded somewhat skeptical. Y'all, do you hear that?
Sheila and I talked about that. Why would you have to call if you know the number directly? Call the sheriff's office. Yeah. That's the stuff that everybody doesn't. I'm sorry. I know where I live. I know the numbers. Yeah. For God's sake, every parent should know your area. You should know your fire department. My fire department is a volunteer that's less than a quarter of a mile from my front door. Sure. That's my fire department. It's my EMS right there. Sure.
Okay.
Sure. We came down a while back and just walked away. I don't know. Like I said, I've had my wife's been a Christian all of her life and all this and that, and I've really this last thing we worked, I've seen everything in the world in 40 years, but for some reason it really affected me, and the good Lord's just blessed me. And again, you never know about things. If you're innocent, can you imagine what an injustice that you've been done during all?
If you're innocent.
Sheila, my thing was.
If you're innocent. Okay, y'all. I get what he's doing. He's trying to butter them up. You get more with sugar, as they say, from honey, or when flies with honey, than you do with what sour or whatever the expression is. I get it. But still, I wanted to hear um more calling them out. Like, why were you scaring people away? Why were you threatening narc divers? Why, like, why are you going after people that are, trying to bring awareness to your missing son? Like, I just love these guys, and I understand they were trying to get him into another interview, and this is why they were doing gentle glove approach. But I mean, I know. So this is exactly it. So I mean, I think we're all suspect as to who he called, and I mean, I think that's quite obvious now why he didn't call 911. Y'all, I don't know. I don't know.
And again, I know you're busy. I know you work all the time. I know you, but I think that Sheila and I could, if you and Katie ever get a chance and get a couple hours where we could come down and visit with you. And if you can't, that's understandable. You've done more than I probably expected just calling us. But I think we could do.
Believe it or not, I mean, it would have. I mean,
Believe it or not. Believe it or not, we don't actually. We don't. Let's just put that out there. We don't.
away from the idea of sitting down and having a conversation with people. And I've told people in the beginning, I will have conversations with people. And I just tell everybody, I'm brash, I'm direct, but I'm respectful.
That's Fred McCoy.
Well, wait.
The way I was raised.
Wait a minute. Did he just say respectful? Darren, I gotta leave. Two things I wanted to comment. One hasn't come up, but one, he comments about Sebastian being found in the woods, and two, he knows exactly how many cameras are around the school. Yeah, Joni, I know. That's a very interesting point. But I also just want to bring to attention to, I was raised and I'm respectful. Man, I beg to differ, dude. I don't know what you call respectful, but the way you talked about Sebastian when you were first coming out was surely not respectful. The way you talked to Terry Lynn, it was surely not respectful. Like, no effing way do you show respect. Sorry, that is the BR radar is going off. The BR radar is going off. Do I have some pictures from when I covered Karen Reed? Y'all, I can't get down there fast enough because I wasn't prepared for the BR meter. But yeah, that one deserves the whole Pinocchio. That looked really bad. Sorry. La long nose growing, the lie. Yeah, definitely far from respectful. This couple did not want to be direct, just trying to get some information. I agree. Yeah. Or Sebastian for that matter.
Well, that military.
I mean, that's the other part of it is I don't have time to sugarcoat people's cookies for them. That's not me.
I used to be like that. I'm trying to change. Sheila's, and the good Lord's changing me on that part. But I'm telling you, people used to say one thing about Fred McCoy: you don't have to go to the country store to find out what he thinks about you. He'll tell you to your face. And that, see, I respect people like that. I just think that people need to see a different angle, from a police officer's perspective, from Sheila. Sheila's a retired school teacher Sheila's dealt. We've got a nephew that's autistic, and she's dealt with schools and school systems. Again, me and Sheila just thought that you all had, and Katie, the both of you, at least the person, I'm not going to say we're on your side. We're not on nobody's side, but I guarantee you that your side would get to be heard. From what I understand, he was in the Navy.
Yes.
Haven't they heard?
16 years.
Yeah, 16 years. Well, haven't you never heard he does like a sailor? They used to tell me you curse like a sailor. But I was a Marine. But so you and Katie talk if you get a chance, and you all ever feel like it. Once you're accused, parents already know, Chris, that we're looked at. If something happens to our children today, they would be looking at me and Sheila. That's just the way we do in police work. And a lot.
I didn't hear that.
You don't have to go to the thing we worked, I've seen everything in the world. How you solve cases or work cases, or it's just not. But
Well, everybody's upset. Like, I mean, so when you said me at work and all this, okay, well, I'm working in Memphis. I'm sitting in a tower crane as we speak right now.
sure.
In Memphis on the St. Jude project. You know, I just left my house last night actually from Hendersonville to come back to work.
Sure.
But, you know, when all this initially went down, you know, we called law enforcement. You know, people have a hard time understanding, well, you call 911 because I don't need 911 when I know that I can call directly to the dispatch desk and get a dispatcher.
Yeah, and you're out in the county. We understand it. You're out in the sheriff's department boundary. You won't be in the. Yeah, I heard that, but Sheila and I talked about that. Why would you have to call if you know the number directly? Call the sheriff's office.
Yeah, I mean, that's the stuff that everybody doesn't. You know, I'm sorry. I know where I live. I know the numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, for God's sake, I mean, every parent should know your area. You should know your fire department. My fire department is a volunteer that's less than a quarter of a mile from my front door.
Sure.
I mean, that's my fire department. That's my EMS right there.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. We came down a while back and just walked away. I don't know. Like I said, my wife's been a Christian all of her life and all this and that. And I've really, this last thing we worked, I've seen everything in the world in 40 years, but for some reason, it really affected me, and the good Lord's just blessed me. And again, you never know about things. If you're innocent, can you imagine what an injustice that you've been done during all? And that was Sheila and my thing was, and again, I know you're busy. I know you work all the time. I know you, but I think that Sheila and I could, if you and Katie ever get a chance and get a couple hours where we could come down and visit with you. And if you can't, that's understandable. You've done more than I probably expected just calling us, but I think we could do.
Believe it or not, I mean, it would have, I am not away from the idea of sitting down and having a conversation with people. And I've told people in the beginning, I will have conversations with people. And I just tell everybody, I'm brash, I'm direct, but I'm respectful.
That's Fred McCoy, buddy.
That's just the way I was raised. You know,
that military.
I mean, that's the other part of it is I
he did say. He did say pact. He did say pact. That's the other pact of it, military. Is that like a military pact that we don't speak against our military brothers or wives? Is that what that was? Wow. He did say you were right. He did say pact. YouTubers here, you were right. So what kind of pact has he got? Is that the Masons pact or is that the military pact? Very curious. Very curious.
To sugarcoat people's cookies for me. That's not me. You know,
I used to be like that. I'm trying to change. Sheila's, and the good Lord's changing me on that part. But I'm telling you, people used to say one thing about Fred McCoy: you don't have to go to the country store to find out what he thinks about you. He'll tell you to your face. And that, see, I respect people like that. I just think that people need to see a different angle, from a police officer's perspective, from Sheila. Sheila's a retired school teacher and Sheila's dealt. We've got a nephew that's autism.
Well, because he says something. You want to go back and listen to that again, because I think you're right. I think it's very interesting because he says before that, as he's going to answer the question, well, something about that, or what's the truth about that, or something. Let's see if I can go back and get it to that place.
That military.
I mean, that's the other part of it is
The other pact. The other pact. That's the other pact. What two pacts? Y'all. Okay. Now I see myself a reading. I'm just going to make myself a note here. Two pacts. What two pacts of secrecy is Chris involved in? Because he says the other pact. Well, that's the other pact. Uh-oh. Well, what the heck? Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I had to Sebastian video. Because if I don't type it now, I'll forget. Man. Oh, marriage and military. Yeah, marriage and military pact. Yeah.
I don't have time to sugarcoat people's cookies for
Hey,
me. That's not.
y'all. Did we get this all wrong? Did KP set this up? Did KP set this up on her own when Chris was out of town? And now his pact is to keep quiet? Could be. It's another idea. It's another perspective.
Me.
I mean, Seth has said KP's as cold as ice.
Used to be like that. I'm trying to change. Sheila's, and the good Lord's changing me on that part, but I'm telling you, people used to say one thing about Fred McCoy, you don't have to go to the country store to find out what he thinks about you. He'll tell you to your face. And that, see, I respect people like that. I just think that people need to see a different angle, a different from a police officer's perspective, from Sheila. Sheila's a retired school teacher and Sheila's dealt. We've got a nephew that's autistic, and she's dealt with schools and school systems. Again, me and Sheila just thought that you all had, and Katie, the both of you, at least a person. I'm not going to say we're on your side. We're not on nobody's
Great point. Thank you.
side, but I guarantee you that your side would get to be heard. From what I understand, he was in the Navy.
Yes.
Haven't they heard?
16 years.
Yeah, 16 years. Well, haven't you never heard he does like a sailor? They used to tell me you curse like a sailor. But I was a Marine. But so you and Katie talk if you get a chance, and you all ever feel like it. Once you're accused, parents already know, Chris, that we're looked at. If something happens to our children today, they would be looking at me and Sheila. Mm-hmm. That's just the way we do in police work. And a lot of times that is the case, no doubt. We've got some good questions, and I think you and Katie could put a lot of stuff to rest.
Well, I mean, me and Katie have both taken polygraph tests.
So that sounds to me on one of those points where I say he's trying to deflect and move the conversation, because he says, you guys could put a lot to rest. And he's like, well, let's just, in other words, I think let's just put what we can to rest now is just what I'm getting. Like, we've put everything to rest. We'll put it to rest now. Like, I think this was the clear indicator he wasn't going to do another interview. That's just me. Listen again.
That your side would get to be heard. From what I understand, he was in the Navy.
Yes.
Haven't they heard?
16 years.
Yeah, 16 years. Well, haven't you never heard he does like a sailor? They used to tell me you curse like a sailor. But I was a Marine. But so you and Katie talk if you get a chance, and you all ever feel like it. Once you're accused, parents already know, Chris, that we're looked at. If something happens to our children today, they would be looking at me and Sheila. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's just the way we do in police work, and a lot of times that is the case, no doubt. We've got some good questions, and I think you and Katie could put a lot of stuff to rest.
Well, I mean, me and Katie have both taken polygraph tests with law enforcement. And we both passed our polygraph test. Seth is.
That just doesn't sound confident. I'm just listening to that again. That we both passed doesn't sound
And
confident.
a lot of times that is the case, no doubt. We've got some good questions, and I think you and Katie could put a lot of stuff to rest.
Well, I mean, me and Katie have both taken polygraph tests with law enforcement. And we both passed our polygraph test.
You hear that? I don't think they did. I don't think they did. Did you hear that? He's not telling the truth there, in my opinion. Listening again.
And a lot of times that is the case, no doubt. We've got some good questions, and I think you and Katie could put a lot of stuff to rest.
Well, I mean,
Okay, so there's two things going on. He's trying to explain why he doesn't need to do an interview and deflecting, which is where I say I think it was clear he was not going to do another interview right here. And now he's going to, not only that, he's going to spin the narrative and try to take control of the conversation by saying he's passed a polygraph, but he doesn't sound like that's truthful, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion, having been a coach and then, in sales, which is language and communication coach to a large extent. I just don't
feel
believe
like
this.
Once you're accused, parents already know, Chris, that we're looked at. If something happens to our children today, they would be looking at me and Sheila.
Mhm.
That's just the way we do in police work. And a lot of times that is the case, no doubt. We've got some good questions, and I think you and Katie could put a lot of stuff to rest.
well, I mean, me and Katie have both taken polygraph tests with law enforcement. And we both passed our polygraph test.
No, you didn't. Did you hear? Okay.
I don't.
When you deflect down, it's like if I could visualize him off camera, he's like going inward because he's about to lie, and his tonality goes down. So there's when you actually have confidence, when you're questioning whether you're talking in truth, you go down. So he sounds like he is. That's just my experience from coaching. There's no scientific basis for that. I'm just saying that's just my experience. And I just don't think he's telling the truth. I think one of them did not pass the test.
No, I can only, from what I've been told, Seth took a polygraph test through Nancy Grace's TV show.
Okay.
I was advised by TBI not to do that. So that's part of the big thing is they're all upset because, I told Nancy Grace that I would do it. And then when I went and talked to TBI, they said, no, don't recommend you do it. Okay, then that means I'm not doing it. Yeah. So I'll take it to TBI. So that's what they did.
Hey, you did take one and passed it?
Oh, yes, sir.
See, that's what. Sure. See, that's things that people. The last I heard that you offered, and that's why you've been an injustice because that you offered on Nancy Grace. Yeah.
Did KP not pass hers? So that is very interesting. None of us have ever talked about that. KP, bet you she didn't pass hers.
Time and place, and then when they offered it, that you backed out on it, and you'd never taken one.
See, here's the other part that Nancy Grace has never said either. So her producer, Rachel, at the time, I was in contact with her and told her, I said, look, TBI has advised me not to take y'all's right away, to take theirs first. And if everything is good, then I don't need to take one with y'all. So let me deal with them first because it is in their investigation. And she was like, no, I completely understand.
Yeah.
Okay. So I had that conversation with her producer.
No.
And I also had a conversation. I'm going to mess his name up. I don't know if it's Zappleton or something. She had another producer that she also uses. And I've had a conversation with him. and but none of that has been divulged to the public. None of it.
Mm.
You know, I mean, of course, they're a TV show. They're there for ratings.
I just heard the skepticism there in her tone.
Money.
Anyway, I'm glad
Well,
that you
I
took
mean, so I have seen your video. I seen the video where y'all drove down from Kentucky down 31. You came down through Kentucky down 31. You turned down McNerney and you went down that way and you came to the back road. So I did watch your video and I watched y'all go through the subdivision, through the cul-de-sac, and you started coming back down and you told Miss Sheila, you should go over and knock on that door.
Yeah.
She's like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
And actually, she could have. So the sign is posted, no trespassers. We were told by law enforcement to put that up because of certain individuals out there that took it upon themselves to walk around our property, videotaping, taking photos without permission. So we were advised by law enforcement to put that up, you know. But we've had people come and knock on the door and ask questions and talk to us.
Wow.
As long as people are respectful, we don't. We're not.
Yeah.
We have nothing to hide.
Yeah.
There you
Nothing
go.
to shy away from.
Yeah.
Now, and me and Katie are all on the same page with law enforcement. We just don't want to be a part of the circus.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's
good.
you know,
Yeah,
somehow
good.
this has gotten away from our son.
Yeah.
I mean, that is comical. That's like the pot calling the kettle black. We don't want to be a part of the circus. Chris, you are the circus. Dude, you came on YouTube and you were the hellion that stirred up shit. You're and your family, I believe, are the ones chasing search parties off the property. You and your family are taking a YouTuber, or you were trying to sue a YouTuber for trying to search for your son. You are the circus. So I don't get that statement. I really don't get that statement with all due respect. I mean, I really don't.
And it's turned into this big old circus pointing fingers and like, why? Yeah, so that was Mr. Steve Fisher. He's a private investigator. And he's licensed in 9 states.
And that's exactly what I said, y'all. You remember me saying, and he's just validated for me. Y'all pointing the fingers. But why? Well, why? Because Fred's already told you, Christopher. I'm sure the police would have told you that the number one suspects of a missing child are always the parents. And Fred also told you, regrettably, statistically, the parents are normally the ones responsible. Furthermore, you had what we call motive, Chris. You had motive. You wanted to secure and make sure that you weren't going to lose custody of Faith. You also came out and spoke horribly about Sebastian and talked about him as if he was a pedophile and a deranged child. You also, Chris, if I need to remind you, have charges of abuse, and CPS was called to your home, Chris. So please don't play dumb and say, y'all are pointing fingers, but why? Why would you point fingers at me? I'm just a respectful father who's, doing everything law enforcement tells us. I mean, come on, Chris. You are sounding like a sociopath. You would be way smarter to come out and own your shit and say, yeah, I didn't fucking like him. Yeah, he had fucking problems. Yeah, we were fucking talking about sending him to a residential school. But I didn't fucking kill the dead dude. You'd gain way more brownie points than you trying to be this loving fucking father that Nina told us you weren't. Okay? So don't act like y'all are pointing the finger like we're all a bunch of idiots. And then you come on YouTube and screaming and calling people all kinds of perverse names. I mean, do I have to remind you Cajun Navy posted a statement that made it to the media that they were being threatened by your family and yourself for searching for Sebastian, and you act like you're the victim here? And all these innocent, beautiful people want to do is give you an opportunity to speak your truth. You and Katie, to come and defend yourself against why we're all going against you. Because normal parents don't go on holidays if they think their son ran away and he might come home. That's just not normal behavior. Normal behavior is being emotionless when you're supposedly wanting people to find your son, while in the background you're ripping down flyers and threatening searchers. Normal people don't call their friends at the dispatch with the direct dial. Normal people call 911. Normal people don't have a history of abusing a child that you're going to court for in a prior marriage, where your ex-wife comes out publicly speaking crap about the kind of father and husband you were. Normal people's parents don't threaten that said ex. So yeah, Christopher Proudfoot, the day you want to be a man and grow some BALLSs is the day you're going to come to the YouTube and actually address that crap. People might start to believe your sociopathic ass. And I tried to go into this open-minded, but the more I listen to you, the more I want to just barf. I just want to barf. Just like Jake Harrow and his dumbass lawyer. Like we're all a bunch of stupid idiots because we're pointing a finger at his client. What the fuck, dude? Are you the blindest lawyer in the state of, like, the entire USA? Any smart lawyer would say, I don't blame y'all for looking at my suspect client. He's got a past that ain't so good. Or you'd be smart, you just stay off the airways because you look like a dumbass lawyer too. Sorry, it's a little bit of my soapbox rant. Because this just makes me want to vomit, Chris. This just makes me want to vomit. After everything you have done, suing Bullhorn Betty and all this bullshit, you do not miss Sebastian. You do not want him found. You had motive, means, and opportunity to get rid of him. So don't be the little victim, like y'all pointing the fingers and making blame. That's what people do around a missing child. It's a missing child. We're supposed to go, CPS was reported coming to the house and they just failed to notify Seth. You spoke about him like you couldn't stand him. And we're just supposed to just say, oh yeah, you're innocent. And you are vile and you have been on YouTube. And we're supposed to just turn a blind eye to that too. We're supposed to just all ignore your sorrowless plea for his return, where you both look cold as ice and inhumane and lacking in emotion and empathy. Yeah, I'm done listening to your bull crap. Victim is me crap. You don't deserve it at this point, and I am seriously trying to give you the benefit of the doubt. I really am. But man, I can't listen to this crap. I can't listen to your bullshit. My meter is just screaming at your bullshit. Oh, I know, sweetie. I know, Marie Curie. This is the thing. I'm really, really trying. I'm really trying. I'm just so tired of it. I'm tired of these parents and this jackass lawyer. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it because I'm entitled to my opinion, for Jake Harrow looking like a fucking fool. Like we're all the dumbasses because we have the nerve to call his client into question. I mean, dude, you should have just stayed off the air. You should have just shut your mouth. You shouldn't have said boo to anybody, because now everyone's coming after you, and rightfully so. Because anybody with a brain, whether he deserves a defense or not, knows he's the fucking suspect in this. Please get real. Get real. The thing is, you see, people that don't know YouTube streets don't realize how crafty and smart we really are. And that's the other thing about the sociopath that I want to let you know, that I was told in my half an hour counseling session with the Ottawa police about sociopaths. They think their lies are believable. They think their lies are believable. So we go back to where I said at the beginning of this, is Chris possibly a sociopath? Because he thinks his lies don't stink. And Jake Harrow, I mean, his lawyers obviously don't think, or his lawyer rather, obviously doesn't think his shit stinks either. I don't know about this lawyer, but he doesn't have a good vibe, in my opinion. I gotta sit properly. You know, okay, let's listen in some more. I'm off my soapbox now, but I tried to give this man the benefit of the doubt, but I look at him and I want to vomit. I just look at that smug ass effing face and I can't stand him. I literally can't stand him.
Credentials are probably some of the best out there. I mean, he has worked with TBI in East Tennessee, worked in 3 cases. He's worked in, I mean, all over the country.
Sure.
I mean, so why, when he said, look, I might be able to add something I don't know. And I've talked to him. We've had conversations offline, just like how we are doing now. And our conversations eventually will lead up to, I wound up meeting with him. And I said, look,
Yeah.
I know you got some questions. And he gave me his questions. I said, well, instead of me explaining, can I show you? He said, sure.
Yeah.
So me and him got in his car. We drove around and I showed him, I said, look, from this angle here, standing here looking at this, looking at this is where you see this is where
I forgot to mention, he talks about his innocence, and then he quickly deflects into SF investigates. And I don't want to take too long, so I'm not going to rewind it. But y'all remember when SFs came out, and I'm like, they are planning their defense. That's what they're doing. And he's, but all, in my opinion, telling us. That's why he called them. All these accusations, and then it leads into SF investigates. Why y'all accusing us? Well, we better come up with the defense and call SF investigates. See, he skips that part of that timeline from y'all accusing us to engaging SF. What the F was that for? Because likely that SF investigates, in my opinion, was called in to create a defense for them. And it doesn't really add up. Just my opinion.
I can explain this. And keep in mind that as I explain this to you, that the foliage is out here. Back in February, everything, the trees were naked.
Mm-hmm.
There's no leaves, there's no nuts. So everything that I'm telling you, you're not going to understand and see exactly because there's no leaves, or there's leaves on the trees, so you can't see directly where I'm pointing. Or, we went to the reverse position of where I was saying and looked down, and I said, see the foliage? You can't see where we were standing. But once this is naked, you can see all the way across the street onto the other side of the Long Road Pike.
Sure.
And he was like, I didn't think about that. And I said, yeah. I mean, and it's this. We drove around. We saw the retention pond. I showed him which way the dog went.
Chris, the dog itself, and my brother, he used to be the canine officer for our department. And, a dog is only as good as it's been trained, and a dog is only as good as the handler that knows the indicators. And sometimes dog handlers, like everybody else, wants their 15 minutes of fame. And, I've heard so many stories about the dogs hitting or didn't hit. And that was one of the questions we had, was about the dog and where the dog hit or did he hit and so forth like that. But again, when you've got a bunch of police officers, go ahead.
Well, I'll tell you, like the first, that first week, they had ran 13 to 18 different dogs. throughout, I mean, our house, around the house, everything. And not all of these dogs were from one group. We had dogs from Sumner County. We had highway patrol dogs. We had professional dog trackers, ones that train with the FBI, sent out their 2 best canines that they always use.
Yeah.
One of those dogs has, I think it's got like 15 bodies
Okay.
Wow.
credited to their search.
Oh, that's great
Okay.
then. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, so they brought out all these dogs and from all over the country. They came in. I mean, whatever they wanted, like I said, we didn't care. Like, you could have it, didn't care. And they got the scents. Now, out of those number of dogs, at least three of separate dogs went on the same path. And that path was out of our house. If you go out the front door, it went to the left, went down the side of that fence, and it comes back up to the front yard. Then the dog jolts diagonally back left between our neighbor's house to their backyard.
Well, it sounds to me like he's trying to justify the flashlight video. Is that what you're getting out of this? Is he trying to justify the flashlight video? I mean, Chris, that's more than one person walking at night with that flashlight out that front door to the neighbor behind you. There's more than one person, Christopher. It wasn't Sebastian with his missing shoes and missing flashlight. It was 2, if not 3 people, Christopher Proudfoot.
It was down to the street, down to the main road, Kellen, when you came in on.
Sure.
Goes all the way to the top of the hill, turns right, goes into the next subdivision over, and it is tracking, and this dog is just running. And it gets to the retention pond and jumps in the retention pond. That was Max.
Yeah.
Now, 3 of these dogs go in that exact same route. I only know of one that jumped in the pond, but 3 dogs.
Wait a second. Why is this so crystal clear in his memory now? Did they not deny they hit in the pond before? Y'all, please correct me. Please correct me. But I thought that they denied knowing the truth about the pond before. Yeah. 3 dogs all ran out the door. Well, I don't know. And they hit that retention pond. But did they not deny that before? Thank you, Krista. I thought that was denied. Maybe Christopher forgot his own lies at this point. I don't know. What's the truth here?
With the same route.
Wow.
Did me and Sheila on our way down there that day? You need to go?
No.
You know what's going on here? Think about this. Think about what we just said. They denied it at first until the flashlight video becomes irrefutable. And now they're going to line up why the dogs hit the pond as maybe a defense. I don't know. It seems to me like Christopher Proudfoot hired SF Investigates to try to diffuse, to try to diffuse the truth, to come up with some defense. And this sounds to me like this is a defense against the flashlight videos. But, Christopher, somebody went back into the house, Christopher. Was it you or KP? Because at the end of that flashlight video, people are going to watch that, the jury, a judge, while you and KP are in orange jumpsuits and shackled, I hope. They're going to look at that and they're going to go, but who's the person going back into the house? Man. Wild stuff.
No, I've got They just told me he's coming back around. So
Okay. Sheila, on her way down there, she got her phone and looked up sex offenders in the area. You know, you got a sex offender, registered sex offender within 8 minutes of your address.
there's 5.
Well, let's just say, you know, we don't really know what went on in that home, but there might have been more than the ones in the neighborhood. I'm just going to leave it there. You know, KP comes from a pretty disgusting family background of that. And they want to blame it on Sebastian getting SO'd because they left him unattended with another child. Yeah, that's likely the truth because Seth has said it too, but what kind of sick effers don't get their kid counseling afterwards and then blame it on the victim? I don't know. You two are just some two effed up souls.
The 5, it only showed us 1, but 1 is enough to at least let a person know that, you know, anything's possible. And again, everybody.
Day 1, law enforcement went to all 5 registered sex offenders.
Great. Okay.
All their records, know exactly their exact whereabouts.
That's great.
Everything.
Okay. See, that's things like people. That's what I'm saying as far as me as an investigator and Sheila both as far as that. But that's things that people. We mentioned that on the way down. We didn't mention sex offender. We just said there's 1. Oh, I think we said SO because we didn't want to say sex on the YouTube.
Yeah, RSOs.
Yeah.
Or SROs, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and so that's interesting. We just don't think that the finger point in time is now, and definitely with nothing to go on than what people's got. And Sheila and I were just, again, we're YouTubers. Of course, this is our hobby. We enjoy it. Parents don't want to hear that, or step parents, but
no. I will save you the kid clubs because Katie and I have had these conversations with law enforcement.
Okay.
And it's simple. There's the answers. When all this is said and done, there's only 2 answers that are going to come out of this. One, Sebastian is going to come home safe and sound, but he's going to have some, he's not going to feel, he's going to need a lot of mental psychologists that sort of look for. That's what he's going to need. Or 2, Sebastian will be found dead in the woods.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why is Chris so convinced Sebastian's in the woods? Found dead in the woods.
And I believe it's the latter. I honestly believe within two miles circumference around there. Sheila thinks around the school. She thinks she was wanting to ask Katie if he had a favorite teacher, was he comfortable going to school.
They sure have been, and they have been way more respectful than I think I would ever be able to be. That was an interesting statement, isn't it? Yeah. I don't think I would even want. I'm going to restate it rather. It's not. I don't think. I know. I don't want to talk to these people. Because I don't think I could be as polite as this lovely couple in this interview. I think I would be hard pressed to be that polite. So I wouldn't want to talk to them because I would ask some tough questions that they wouldn't want to answer. Just saying.
All these questions about school, and Sheila feels that he was headed toward the school for some reason. And
so here's what I can tell you about that. Around the school, so between the high school, elementary, and the middle school, there's 400 cameras.
Wow.
See, I knew there was cameras.
Okay.
I mean, that includes inside, outside. There's 400 cameras. They have pulled the footage from all of those cameras.
Okay.
And nothing was seen on the cameras.
Wow.
They have scoured the football field.
Yeah.
Back behind the football field, there was a field. And of course, I'm native to that area.
Sure.
So I actually went to Beach Elementary when I was a little kid.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, there's not very much in that area.
Yeah.
That somebody's like, well, I'm over here. I'm like, yeah, I can tell you're over next to so-and-so's house.
Yeah.
Or, you know, if you go up this road right here, you go dogleg back to the left, it snakes around and blah, 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 blah. And people are like, how do you know this? Because I'm from here. You know, it's...
You probably played in a lot of those hills.
Around the school has been very, very heavily searched.
Okay.
Steve and there's a couple other folks that have thermal drones and drones and stuff like that outside of law enforcement, not with law enforcement, that we've kind of been, when we can.
Y'all, we have been with SF Investigates outside of law enforcement, not with law enforcement, doing what we can. Yeah. Did they want to know? Did they want to know how many other cameras have evidence of that flashlight video or the car that might have taken Sebastian away when it left? Was it Kelly Lane there that night? Yeah. Sounds to me like they hired SF Investigates to protect them in their defense, because they're going to hopefully, God willing.
All right, we're going to look at this.
God willing, they're going to need one.
Area, we're going to go search here. And we're kind of doing some, what do you call it? Like, not coordinated, but
Grid search.
Sectioning off. Yeah, there you go. Grid search.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what we was wondering, if a person, see, that's what they didn't do over there. And if you'll just get in the line, and that way when you go through an area, you know for a fact that without a doubt there's nothing there, and then you can mark that off. If a person knew for a fact for those 2 miles around your all's place, I would feel so much more comfortable and say, okay, it's something else. He's in a vehicle, there's somebody, you know, something's more to it. But for him just to be gone and no vehicle going down the road, nothing like that. It's
Sebastian, just
afraid we're gonna mess him up.
I don't want to.
No, you're fine.
Okay, don't let us mess you up there.
I don't know what they bleeped out. They did say they took part of it out, so something seems to me like they might have taken out. There was a conversation there about the cameras that maybe was taken out. I don't know.
I know you're busy. Maybe later on, if you and Katie get a chance, you sit down and talk. Like I said, you know, if you decide to talk to us or something, we'd love to do I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, I'm about like you. We're straightforward. We'd love to do a video.
Yeah, I mean, we all try to do.
No, dude, he's not giving you an interview. You can tell from the way he answers.
Answer all the questions, and everybody wants to come up with some crazy stuff, but it comes to what could have happened, what may have happened.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, Sheila, you ask them.
Sir,
Yes, ma'am.
what do you all think happened to little Sebastian? Do you have?
I'm down to literally. I'm only down to 2 scenarios here.
Okay.
And they, what I feel probably the most reasonable in my head that makes sense. So the first one is very simple.
Okay.
Sebastian got up, walked out of the house, walked out in the woods. He's out there somewhere, and we can't find him.
Okay.
That's the simple one.
That's
Right.
Sometimes simple is the way it is, but go ahead.
Now the second one, Sebastian walked out of the house. Either it was planned or he was lured out of the house, or something triggered him to leave out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
And walked out of the house. I personally feel he got to the Long Hole Pike, and picked up in a car and they headed westbound on Long Haul Pike.
Wow.
And west.
Wow is right, because is that admitting to the video, the flashlight surveillance being authentic? Is that an admission that it's authentic? Because you're out shit talking the mob crew with your FSF investigator, saying it's a neighbor and not coming from your house. This is interesting, especially since it's been concealed for so long. It's coming out after they hired SF and discredited this video. Now it seems like back 10 months ago, Chris is trying to come up with a defense as to what this video might be. But it's not him or KP leaving their house. It's some nefarious person that maybe Sebastian walked out the front door and hopped in someone's car down Hollow Pike or something. Yeah, except how do you explain the fact that that one adult went back into the home? How do you justify that, Christopher? Very curious.
Bound goes to I-65. Now, there's a license plate reader on Long Haul Pike that goes, if you're traveling eastward, so if you're coming from Goodlettsville going toward Gallatin down Long Haul Pike, there's a license plate reader right there. And 76 cars from the hours of midnight to 6 a.m. were registered on that LPR.
Okay. Wow.
So all of those cars have been accounted for. Now, what has not been accounted for is if you were traveling westbound, so if you were going from Gallatin to Goodlettsville,
Mm-hmm.
the one camera that could have picked anything up was not working, hadn't been working for 3 years. And that's at Long Haul Pike and New Shackle, right there at the corner by the school.
Wow.
And it hasn't worked for 3 years. Now, whether or not they're going to work it out, I don't know. But it hadn't worked for 3 years. So anybody going, like I said, westbound down Long Haul Pike could have picked up Sebastian, picked him in a car, hauled butt down to I-65, and you'd have never known.
That was our second.
Yeah.
This morning we were talking. We've been on it all day again, but and we talked of our first one, of course, is he wandered off. The second one is we talked about a sex offender or somebody, just a crime of opportunity.
Yeah, see, I mean, that's all I have to go on. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, all of Sebastian's shoes are accounted for. So this is what's going to kind of throw you off a little bit. Sebastian.
Whoops. Wait till you hear what Fred has to say about this after the interview. He sure does. He sure does. Listen to this after the interview. We have another hour to go, so I'm going to interrupt less. And I'm going to put it to 1.25 because I have a 7 p.m. live on Emmanuel.
You know, all of his shoes are at the house.
Right.
All of my shoes are accounted for. All of Kitty's shoes are accounted for. So Sebastian walking out in the middle of the woods,
Yeah.
I struggle with that one because Sebastian was not a tomboy.
Yeah.
He really wasn't.
That's.
I mean, I know this is going to sound crazy, but a fly, spiders, even like a Charlotte spider, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Sebastian freaks out. That's not him.
Yeah.
Now, granted, we used to have snakes, and he was all about the ball pythons. He was all about that.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
But insects, no.
Oh, God love his heart. God love
He
his
was not
heart.
a kid that liked to get out there in the dirt and play with cars and trucks and Tonka toys like we all used to do as kids.
Like I did.
Kids, you know.
So he didn't go out
That's
into.
not Sebastian.
So he didn't like to go hiking or nothing like that then.
He liked hiking, but it wasn't like
So past tense again. Past tense. He liked
as
hiking.
we all used to do as kids, where we just walk off in the woods and we just
Right.
didn't care and walk our way back home. No, we used to go hiking when we lived in California down trails and stuff. I mean, all that stuff has been marked
Right.
and they're well known and stuff like that. And that stuff, yes, but not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, bless his heart.
Well, listen, buddy, we appreciate you calling
Thank
us.
you so much.
That's if it don't never go no farther than this, we've enjoyed at least and you haven't told us nothing that we didn't figure. I mean, you're exactly what I figured you would be like.
No, I got nothing to hide. I mean, me and Katie, and this is gonna sound very off, but me and Katie are kidless.
Yeah.
You know, my daughter lives in New Mexico with my ex-wife, and Sebastian lived with us.
Yeah.
And we don't have either one of our kids. Well, I mean, we're guilty because we're not a Hallmark drama.
We're guilty because we're not the Hallmark drama-filled family. No, please, no. Oh my God. You are guilty of something, but it ain't necessarily that. But you are filled with drama, I will agree. And both of y'all have some pretty shady pasts in your family. So, yeah, you're guilty, all right. It's of a lot of things.
The story.
Yeah.
You know, Katie's not out there
Wow.
dropping to her knees in the middle of the yard,
Yeah.
screaming and crying, and I'm not out there just ripping everybody's heads off.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah, you were. Oh, yeah, you were.
Yeah.
We do it wrong.
Come on.
That side.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
We all do.
It's
And I think that's what's.
the time.
Yeah. Yeah. And buddy,
Pray for you.
yeah, we're praying for you. That's for sure. And we feel
Oh,
for you. Feel for both of you. And
Let me just say, I love these two, that they are praying for Chris Proudfoot. I love their souls. Because when Fred in particular starts unraveling what he really thinks, he ain't thinking. I don't think he's following all the story. So the fact that they can pray for him is better human than I am. Because I literally pray for the day I have my colossal popcorn and we're watching KP and CP in orange jumpsuits and shackles. And Sebastian's sitting on Seth Rogers' lap, his dad's lap, and he's well and alive. That's what I pray for. That's what I'm praying for. And that is not to dish these beautiful people, because I think they're absolutely amazing. And they just have sweeter souls than mine right now. They just do.
I just wish you the best. And if we can ever do anything, we're a phone call.
Well, on a funny note, Katie didn't understand when somebody brought it up to us that y'all were looking, and she goes, "Well, the Hatfields and McCoys are involved now." And I said, "In what capacity?"
Yeah.
Because I said there could be a good thing, there could be a bad thing. It just kind of depends.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, that could have been a bad thing, which is why you didn't go back on interview too, right? Because maybe Mr. McCoy, the 40-year veteran police officer, might have picked up some lies. I don't know, just saying.
And I said, "Do you not know the history of the Hatfield, the McCoys?" And she goes, "No." I was like, "Oh my God."
Yeah.
So that's probably one of the longest running family feuds in the entire history of the world.
Yeah. And I'm both.
And she was like, "What?" I said, "Oh, it's a deadly feud.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not a well, you called me a name and I'm gonna call it." No, people were killed between the Hatfields and McCoys. And this was back in Prohibition days, and she was like, "Huh?" I said, "Yeah." Bless your heart, you don't know the history. She's like, "No."
Yeah.
She's like, "I know they got a museum in Gatlinburg." I said,
My great grandmother was Nancy Hatfield. My great grandfather was Asa McCoy. I'm actually both. And that's where we were born and raised. That Sheila and I. I'm actually
Put your hands with your
we're related. I mean, I'm right down the line with DNA and all. That's another thing that gets me with your all's cases. Over the years, Sheila and I we have these Hatfields come out and McCoys, and they say I'm related here. I'm related. And first thing I done was take a DNA years ago to show people, But these people to this day have never taken a DNA, but they claim to be. Well, if you are who you say you are, there's easy things out there to do. And Sheila and I have really our investigative skills. And again, what we done over there was God.
Right.
We was in those woods for 6 days. I went in a sinner that I never thought I would be able to straighten up because I had gotten hard with 40 years of police work. I was hard. I'd seen things and done things and God in those 6 days between him and Sheila, he softened me, and everybody thought. And they think that we solved that case. God solved that. God
showed us where to go.
God led us to those birds, and then Sheila's nose to that. I don't know if you've seen that video or not. It's on our YouTube where we've actually found the body while we're live streaming, and that was God, and it just changed my whole life. Now the next thing we hear is look for Sebastian Rogers. We'd never heard of Sebastian. At first we kept just pushing aside because we're not. That was God. That wasn't us. We didn't do nothing special. And but then after a while we got up one morning.
Maybe
and
all
that's
that.
the day we come down there. She said, "What are we gonna do there?" Something like that. And I said, "You want to drive down to Henderson?" We done said we wasn't going to go, and we ended up in Hendersonville. We ended up going up that graveyard, and we ended up just trying to see if God leads us here, leads us there, and none of us, God's got a plan in life, no matter what it is. We're not going to change what his plan is, but at least we can go where we think we need to be and do what we can. Maybe the cops know something that they're not telling everybody. I don't know, but it certainly isn't in nothing that Sheila and I have seen. And we got on there the other night and we put it out there and said, hey, we'd like to talk to the parents. There's two sides to every story. There's three sides. This, you got Seth, you got you and Katie, and then you've got what really happened to Sebastian. So
see, the problem with a lot of people out there doing this is they let that alligator mouth overload their little tadpole behinds.
Well, that's true.
And my question to everybody is when you eat crow, do you prefer mustard or just straight?
Yeah.
There we go. Here comes the real Chris. He can't hold back. He starts insulting everybody that dare suspect him now. Y'all.
Because when the truth comes out,
and that's what.
Wrong.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait to hear the apologies. Now, will we ever get them? Probably.
If you ever, you all talk, and if you ever want, we're here. We will do anything we can for you. We've got some questions. I don't care to let Sheila take a snapshot of them and send them to you. You can see our questions, and you know what?
I mean, we can't even go to church without being photographed.
Yeah.
That's sad.
That was one of our questions. Do you all go to church?
Yeah. Yes, sir. We try to go when we can.
It's free.
The problem is, even at our church, that
people.
You would think that people are supposed to be there for the right reasons.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they might be, but they still need to do a lot of digging and a lot of searching to find the goodness.
Yeah.
Because people go online as soon as church is over. They were at church today. How dare they show their how dare you?
Yeah.
And what gives you the right to say that? I can't be at church. What gives you the right to say that?
Yeah. I arrested a guy's son one night for DUI. We went to the same church for years, and I thought he loved us, made over. It's like I was the chief of police and went to church that next Sunday, that morning, Saturday night. I arrested his son and come in there and reach out, shake hands like we'd done for years, and turned his back on me. And I thought, wow. And no way I would lie or fib or anything on his son. He knew his son was guilty, but it was like I may have kept his son from getting killed or killing somebody that night, drunk. But that was the last time that I was in that church. It was just, it really broke my heart. But so I don't know. Don't buddy. It says a personal relationship. We're to have a personal. You're sitting there in that loader. You can sit there and talk to the good Lord and have as good as you can in any church. So just don't let that get you down.
Well, we started doing this. Actually, so a gentleman from I think it was North or South Carolina, he reached out to me, and he's a pastor, and we talked through messages, Facebook Messenger. He's got us doing this grievance course.
Oh wow!
So it's got a workbook and a journal, and there's videos, and we're fixing to start getting into this grievance course.
Sure.
And I told Ken, I said, maybe we should do this. I said, regardless of the outcome.
Yeah.
I said, we're always grieving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good
So
thing.
maybe this just might be a way to ease it. Maybe, I don't know. I said, but we got to try something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sheila lost her father 2 months ago, and a month later, she lost her only sister. And then a couple of weeks later, we find that body over there, so she had it rough for. So yeah, that can't hurt. Anything like that's got to be try to stay on the straight and narrow and think
Pray.
positive, pray, and that's all you can do in something like this. I wouldn't want to be where you're at. I know that.
Bless your heart.
But this is my cell phone number. You can call me, text me, whatever. A lot of times if I don't answer, I'll send a text message back or whatever.
We'll try not to bother you.
Yeah,
No, you're fine. Trust me.
Yeah.
You are fine.
Well, we've enjoyed. We definitely enjoy our conversation. We was coming back this yesterday, and we got to we went over and covered. I don't know if you've seen that lady that killed her mother and then cut her arms and legs off and her head and put her in the oven and all that. Have you seen that in Kentucky?
Yeah.
We covered that, and on our way back, our Hummer broke down. Our number 3 plug or something, coil or something went out, so it's in the shop. And because we were coming back down there just to look around and just to
look near the manholes to see about that.
See, all that stuff has changed so much since. Hey, Chris, would there be any bears out in February? Would that be too early for bear, or do y'all have a bear population there?
So there's been one sighting of a bear, and we don't have bears normally in our area. If we do, it's very, very rare.
Okay.
We have more coyotes, deer, foxes. Small stuff. Most of the bears are going to be out east.
Okay. That was our question.
Yeah.
No, don't take this the wrong way, but if I'm walking through the woods, I'm not going without having a gun.
Sure.
One, if something does come upon something, it's,
We do too.
Yeah, we're the same way. So
yeah, like I said, when we're out searching, we've got that PI, Steve Fisher. He's with us. We got a couple of locals who we trust. They go out looking with us, and like I said, most of us all have drones.
Sure.
So and we all try to utilize whatever sources we got to do whatever searching we can.
Well, listen, we're going to let you get off here, and it's been great talking to you.
It's curious to me that Fred's tried to disengage the conversation several times, and Chris is the one that keeps wanting to talk. Why does Fred want to disengage? I wish I knew. Does Fred realize this guy is full of it, that he's not going to do an interview? I don't know, because this is the 3rd time Fred says, okay, we're going to let you go now. The first 2 times, Chris wants to keep talking. It's really curious.
You know what we'd like to do. So if you and Katie ever decide, you give us a call or a text, and we're at your convenience.
Anytime you need to, sir. Like I said, reach out. I'll be talking to Katie here in a little while. Probably get off work. And then that way she'll let me know. And we'll discuss it. And she'll probably be up for it.
Sure. She'll love Sheila.
We're praying for you all, sir.
You tell her that Sheila's got her in her prayers, both of you.
I haven't stopped praying.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We need all the ones we can get.
That's right. Well, Chris, you be safe out there on that equipment, buddy, and good talking to you.
Likewise, sir. Thank you so much.
And call me Fred, Chris. Ain't no sir. It's Fred,
I
pal.
can call you, sir.
You take it easy, buddy.
You too, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. What'd you think, guys? What'd you think? That was Chris? Proudfoot. Help me out, babe.
Yeah.
I know all kinds of people that's got similar names,
And
Sebastian and Jaden and Chris, and I know other people in life, and they've got different. And I put that last name of theirs
with a different
instead of his.
first name.
Yeah, I'm all messed up. Chris said he would check with Katie about the interview.
Yeah, he said he was open to it, but he would run it by her to see what she.
That's right.
Thought or would do.
That's right.
Wanted to do.
Later, Katie declined. Crickets. Right now, Chris is watching this video and he's thinking, she never declined. I never got back with you. Crickets.
Yeah.
Actually didn't respond back at all.
We didn't hear you.
But by not responding back, we knew Katie had declined. Now, Katie is in that video there, the first video that says, we want to keep Sebastian in the news. We want to keep him out there. We offered. We're 3 hours away, 4 hours away. Gas that we could use for something else, time that we could spend fishing or on the lake.
we offered to give our time, our gas, our didn't want it. Said in that news interview, I feel you, baby. I don't want to get. Well, guys, listen. I'm a little bit frustrated, punk.
I understand
Now, listen.
that.
When you say something, watch what you say because people may call you out on it. When you get on TV and you say we want all the attention we can get, then you file suits or you're offered to be on. I don't care if it's a YouTube channel. I don't care if it's Mickey Mouse TV. Everything that you can get for that child and any kind of attention at that time is worth something.
Yeah.
Maybe that one person that took him or that he's with or picked him up on the side of the road or that did something with him. Maybe somebody's conscience will start working on them the more they actually see him in the news. If somebody did have anything to do with it, maybe the more they see him on YouTube and on the news, it starts working on people's conscience.
Yeah, it's very
So,
possible.
I don't mean to be mean calling people out, but
Yeah,
we offered, we asked. He said Sheila said he said
he said he would
open to it.
Yeah, I'm open to it. He said, but he was going to have, he's going to ask her to see
Yeah,
what
well,
she wants.
Never got back with us. We're going to post the text messages. Post that one right here again. Post where I text them again. But see, I didn't keep texting.
Right.
I didn't keep texting because I didn't want to be sued.
Yeah.
Didn't want to be sued. Because I'll tell you something about Sheila and I, we ain't got a pot to pee in or a window to throw it out. So, and we've got, if I did one thing in my career, it was make friends with a bunch of attorneys after I've been a police officer for 40 years. So I do have a few friends that I think would represent us. But by the time you sued us and got financial statements, you'd probably feel sorry and give it to us.
Probably.
Sent message to them. We sent text messages to them, and Sheila will post them here again. Why? We thought she wanted attention in Sebastian's case. That's what she said in her news interview.
And what better way than social media?
Thank you, baby. That's exactly right. Exactly. We've got 25,000 subscribers, or that's what we had at that time.
At that very time. We don't want to mislead them.
But we were receiving hundreds of thousands of views on some of our videos. One video we had
it went viral.
Went viral.
Yeah.
One of our videos, at least one, went
people
viral.
Were sharing it and everything else. And I had people call me up and say, you're viral. And I was like,
and people's calling up and asking, can we use your video? Can we share this? Can we, guys, you can do anything you want. Sheila and I don't do this for YouTube. We barely make enough on YouTube to pay our gas. We don't pay our gas if we go to a lot of things or do a lot of things.
Trips, yeah.
Now imagine the subscribers and other YouTubers and the views that they had or could have gotten by sharing our video or doing a video often of it, just as we do with theirs. Imagine some of these people.
JLR investigates hillbilly crime, Law and Crime Network, and Hidden True Crime.
And
that's just a few.
Yeah, there's several more. But imagine, and I don't know if Duty Ron's another one, but these people have thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Imagine all of them sharing our videos or us sharing theirs when they do it.
With their viewers, yeah.
Why would you rather hang posters or talk to the news about hanging posters when there's platforms with hundreds of thousands of viewers who are longing to interview you? We were longing. We wanted to talk.
To help solve the mystery of Sebastian. It wasn't just for the content or the clicks, whatever. We were trying to honestly help.
Not everybody's out there for the clicks. Now, once again, some guy said the other day about, they're just wanting clicks. True. I would hate to think that we make videos and nobody would watch them. We hope people watch them. But
we were trying to help.
We wanted to help. We wanted to keep the word out there, keep it going. Yeah. We wanted to talk, and it's going to come up here in a minute, so I won't get ahead of myself. But let us clarify. When we talked to Chris on the phone, we were extremely nice, as was he.
Yes. And you heard that.
You've heard that by now.
Yeah.
We were nice. Yeah. And a lot of it's been cut out because some of it I talked. I was talking about finding Joseph Couch's body. I was criticizing another police agency. Not another police agency, the Kentucky State Police. I don't want to throw it at nobody else. Let's leave it. That's all I'll say. But so some of that we cut out because Sheila doesn't like me to sore spot with me. But said he had no problem talking with us, but he would run it by Katie. Katie must have refused. And why would be the question.
Right.
Because he never called us back. He never texted us back when I text.
Yeah.
He never, no more contact. Of course, he's filing suits against people, so I didn't want to harass them.
Exactly.
No need to get on. I don't care to get sued, guys. If you get sued, the thing about getting sued in life, you file a countersuit. The first thing you do if you're ever sued by anybody, file a countersuit, so that way you can depose that person in depositions. First thing you want to do is have depositions.
Okay.
You want to depose that person and ask some questions. Wouldn't it be great to have Katie and Chris under oath asking questions that pertain to Sebastian? That's what we wanted to do in our interview. We were nice, but we were wanting Chris to invite us down and say, yeah, guys, come on down. Katie said, sure, come down. Because, see, we feel we could be wrong, and this is our opinion. This is assumption. But we feel if a person really, really, really was missing a child and wanted attention for that child and wanted to find that child and had nothing to hide, they would say, yeah, guys, come on down. We appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. I'll answer any question you got, because Sheila and I had some questions. We've got some questions.
Yeah.
What do we want to do more than anything, babe?
We want to find Sebastian. We want to bring him home, and we want to look at their faces, their actions, their how they remark to everything that we said.
We want to look at them. Are they possible suspects? Of course they are. They know they are.
Yeah.
We talk about it on the phone.
Yeah.
Parents are always the number one suspect. Why is that? Because the parents
are usually the last ones to see him.
Are usually not only the last one to see them, but they're the perpetrator.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like in cases where, I don't know. Never mind.
No, you're all right. No, they like hearing from you, baby.
Yeah.
There's some people that thinking like you. I'm a police officer, or I was. You're not. Tell them your thoughts.
Well, I was just saying why the parents would probably be the suspect, just because the child lives with the parents. And like I said, that would be more than likely if they disappeared from the home like that, then that would be the reason why.
That's a great point, because there's some people out there thinking like that.
Yeah.
As a former police officer, I'm thinking I want to look at the parents and question them, because a lot of times the parents are the bad guys. A lot of the times the parents, unfortunately, but that's true. But see, Sheila's got such a good heart, and that's the yin and yang. That's what we do.
So he's coming with 40 years experience in law enforcement, and he's saying statistically it's normally the parents are involved, which I'm sure Christopher Proudfoot is aware of, but yet we're all a bunch of ding-dangs, idiots, for suspecting him. And not even going into his past and his motive. Yeah, ding-dong. I'm going to reverse that ding-dong. It's not we're ding-dong. Someone else.
Sheila would want to talk to them and say, how was Sebastian? How did he do? And Sheila, we've got people and know people. And she's worked with children about
autism. His favorite colors, and
that's Sheila.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I would be asking other questions. But both of us, we look at people, we watch people.
Yeah.
That's what you do as an investigator. And Sheila is a great investigator. And Sheila is a big helper, because Sheila looks at things from another point of view than what me and another police officer would be doing after years and years of experience.
Or whatever you want to call us.
Just a regular civilian person that doesn't go around investigating a lot, or not in police anyway.
That's for sure.
Sheila and I wasn't going to go in there and be accusatory.
No.
We wasn't going to go in there and say, okay, guys, we got you in front of the camera now. We think you did this or that, or that wasn't our plan.
Shine a light in their face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that.
No.
We wanted to simply ask them questions that they had probably already been asked. But Sheila and I have a special friend with us, a special investigator that tells us things and helps. We feel that way in our heart. Hopefully there's no non-believers out there, but we feel things. We see things. Don't ask us why, and we don't do it. We're not fortune tellers, guys. We don't believe in ghosts. We don't believe in spirits, except for the Holy Ghost and God's Spirit, the Holy Spirit. That's what we believe in. Now, we'll go on.
Yeah.
But we wasn't going there and just accusing them.
No.
We were just wanting to talk to them and ask them questions. We might even ask questions that nobody have asked.
Nobody else has thought of,
We may have asked questions that somebody else may have been afraid of hurting their feelings by asking. The thing is, if you're telling the truth, you've got nothing to hide, and you're really missing your son and your stepson, you're looking for him, you shouldn't get upset at people for asking those questions, because if we're thinking them, then that means that some of you guys are probably thinking them. We're not geniuses. So if we've thought of these questions, no doubt.
Right.
We read the comments.
Yeah.
We see what people say and write on cases on our pages. And you guys are some smart people.
I agree. Man, y'all are awesome.
We simply wanted to ask some questions. Of course,
we wanted to watch their face and their body language.
We wanted to watch their faces and their body language. We wanted to talk to them about God. We wanted to talk to them at the end
And we'll probably still do that. Only this time, instead of in person, it's going to be on this tape. Now, Chris said he watched our tapes because you're going to hear him talk about the Hatfields and the McCoys.
And he was
He talks
laughing.
about Sheila while we were there searching the neighborhood. Go ahead, babe.
There was a no trespassing sign in their yard. And Fred slows down. He said, Sheila, go over and knock on the door. I was like, no, I don't want to get arrested. And Mr. Proudfoot was laughing about that because he said he thought it was funny that you tried to get me to go knock on the door.
So he watched our videos, and he's going to watch this video. Him and Katie both are going to watch this video.
Why is Christopher Proudfoot more interested in watching videos of YouTubers looking for Sebastian than he is attending his own vigils, putting out his own flyers, and conducting his own legitimate searches other than the ones and private investigator he hired that brings a drone with him? I mean, yes, you can see a lot with the drone, but if you really think Sebastian's in the forest, will a drone spot him under, as he would be decayed and under leaves and everything else at this point? So, I don't know. You tell me what you think. You know, he'll take the time to watch YouTube videos, but not take the time to do the things to find Sebastian. Is another really odd thing for me.
Video. And our invite is still out there. We would love to talk to them. We would love to interview them. We'll be fair and honest with them. If there's nothing to hide, why not talk to us? Of course, I know it's stressful being asked questions. Of course, I know we would never falsely accuse somebody. We won't accuse you at all. I mean, that's up to you and the police and the good Lord and people like that. We're nobody, but we would like to ask some questions that other people's probably got.
And like you've always said, everybody's innocent until proven guilty.
That's right.
So, I mean, you can't.
Everybody. And I've also always said I would rather let a guilty person go than to ever accuse or charge an innocent person.
Right.
That's only fair.
Right.
I would rather be wrong and let a guilty person go than to charge an innocent person. If he's guilty, you'll get him another day. He'll do something else. We found out you don't have to have a badge or be able to tell when someone's lying.
Nervous or deceiving.
Yeah. Nervous or deceiving. We can tell that. We can look at that. Are they nervous because they're being interviewed? Are they nervous because they've been asked questions? Of course. Are they overly nervous? Are they like Jaden's mother and Josh the other day? We knew they were lying, and more importantly, they knew that we knew that they were not telling the truth.
Yeah.
That they were not telling the truth.
God, love his little heart.
We had asked questions and still have questions.
Not accusatory.
Yeah,
but just questions.
Now a question is, why no interview? Why is this story, Sebastian, still not on the news? Why is it not all over? Now, I still see occasional stories on YouTube.
Well, they did a story, I think it was on the year anniversary of him being missing.
Year-long anniversary?
Yeah.
Why is it not on every channel? There for a while, every YouTuber. Guys, there's some good YouTubers out there. There's some good investigators out there. You don't have to be a police retired officer to investigate. And a lot of it, you guys, put it in your comments. Put it in our comments. If you didn't hear us ask something on that video that we should have asked, or we was talking to Chris about, if Chris calls up and says, hey, me and Katie says, come on down, we want to talk to you, we'll give you the interview. Then you all put your comments in the section, questions you want us to ask them. And we'll tell them, Chris, Katie, this is a question, a comment on our channel. On
Y'all, do you think Chris and Katie are going to do an interview now? I know they want their chat to get engaged, but I think there's a sweet chance of ATLL. There's a 0 chance they're going to do an interview now. I don't know.
This video, and they wanted us to ask you this.
Great idea.
Do you care to answer them? He shouldn't care, should he?
Yeah.
I don't. And talking to him on the phone that day, he acted like that he wouldn't care.
Right. I was gonna say he didn't mind answering some of the questions that we asked.
Let's give him the
benefit of the doubt.
Let's give him his props. He on the phone, he talked to us like somebody.
Sure did.
Very nice.
While he was working.
Explained a lot of things to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we'd rather looked at him in person. We'd rather shook his hand. We would have rather. You ever seen that movie? Oh God, I always get on movies. The Faulkners or whatever it is. For give me your hands. God, he puts his hands up there. I won't do that.
Yeah.
I won't do that. I'm not a live polygraph, but
yeah. Which they said
if they ever do meet with us, I shouldn't have said that there. As soon as we went in and met with us, I should have
Yeah.
touch his hands, that would have, he probably told us, y'all go ahead and leave.
Yeah. Let me show you the door.
Sebastian's story is not going away. It'll never go completely away,
Right.
no more than any of these other stories about these babies.
Yeah.
It'll never go completely away, but Sebastian's story is not getting the attention and the coverage that it once got. Guys, we made a little list here of things that we just wrote down.
Okay. Why no shoes? Because he wore shoes everywhere he went. So why was all of his shoes at the door and he didn't have a pair with him?
Hypothetically, did someone do away with him but forgot to take his shoes? And then when the police come that morning, hypothetically, guys, I'm being devil's advocate here, Chris and Katie.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it on both sides. But did somebody forget? And then the police says, where's his shoes? And there's all of his shoes. See, because when people does things or there's a crime committed, people don't always cover all the bases. That's how people get caught. There's always something that comes up that, ooh, I was going to rob that bank. Maybe I should have put gas in this car. You know, there's things that people forget to do and it comes out.
Right.
Now, this person here, this was a comment. I just copied off somebody.
That's a very interesting comment. Did they just forget to remove his shoes when they came up with the story that he left the house without his shoes? Because Chris already said in the earlier interview he didn't like bugs, so he wouldn't go in the bush on his own, but yet somehow Chris thinks he's in a bush not wearing shoes. So did they, what do you all think? Fred's suggesting, did they potentially do something to him and maybe in the moment forgot to remove his shoes to make their story make sense and he just walked out the door?
Paige, I don't even know about this. You all can. But this person says, well, the name's Bonnie Dunn. Why would he say that we would have heard him if he wasn't even there? He was supposedly out of town working
in Memphis.
And that's a red flag, is it?
Wow. Yeah, we would have heard him. I thought he was out of town, right? He said he was out of town.
You know, did somebody asked the other day when we was doing a live, they said, can a person make a mistake and say something and that not be meaning something? No, that's a clue. That may be something to look at. Does that make them guilty? It's according to how nervous they was. It's according to what they were thinking. Maybe they were thinking ahead to the next question. Maybe I don't know.
Thank you, Navy.
Does not lead toward guilt. So if he said,
thank you. That's very, very kind of you. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
They were talking about him going out the window.
That would be an unusual statement. Yeah. Said if he was going out the window, we would have heard him. Well, how would he have heard him
if he was
if he's not there? If he's
at work or
we don't know. Is that just an off the wall statement? Was it a mistake? Was it a clue?
Good point.
It could be either one. It could very well be either one at this point, guys. After this long, everything that's took place, no interviews, filing lawsuits.
Yeah.
I saw today where the little baby in California that's missing.
Stay tuned, everybody, because we are still looking at Sebastian's charts. I know Jen's really busy right now. There's a local teenager missing from Tennessee, close to where she lives, very close to her home. But we have not forgotten, so just click on those notification bells. I know not everybody's getting them. Sometimes you have to unsubscribe and resubscribe, or make sure you clicked on the old bell at the top that says notifications. But when Jen's got a little bit more time, we have not forgotten the residential schools. I can deep dive in them too. Yes, very appreciated. Thank you. And we'll be diving into them. But yeah, the residential schools is certainly an option that maybe the plan went a little awry. Sebastian, there was a fight because he wasn't going willingly, hence the flashlight video, but he was maybe taken. As was pre-planned before this disappearance, KP and CP were talking to Seth about sending Sebastian away to a residential school. So that's the angle we're looking at now, because I'm starting this case over again. And if anything new comes to light where there's another direction that absolutely needs to be looked into, we will follow that as well. So thank you.
And the family's lawyered up.
Yeah.
Lawyered up. They don't want no questions.
Wow.
Maybe by watching the interview with Chris and Katie, the person or persons who had something to do with Sebastian's disappearance will come clean. Would that be possible? Would it be possible if there is actually a third third party here?
Yeah.
Something happened. He wandered off. He snuck off. They picked him up on the side of the road because, see, she's going to post some video here where they say, oh, there's flashlights out here. Oh, there's this, there's that. Is that a redirect that a private investigator come up with anything at all that they can throw you off and say, hey, it's not these two. There was somebody out here with a flashlight.
Bingo.
Were they getting night crawlers? Were they?
See, I didn't listen to this last.
How about walking the dog?
I didn't. Sorry, when I was on my walk earlier, I did not get this far. So this is wild. Interesting. Yeah, that's exactly what I think. It's a defense.
How about Sheila's going to show a video here where the person walked their dog very next morning before they even knew Sebastian was missing. They walked their dog and take the exact same path that they did that night. That was on the camera. That's not Sebastian. That's not got nothing to do with Sebastian. That's a person walking their dog. Now we can try to point the finger down and say, "Oh, look over here. Let's get the attention off of these two and let's put it over here on this." We can do that, or we can go with the evidence. Let's go with the maybe Chris and Katie came clean, or will come clean if they had anything to do with Sebastian's disappearance.
We're not accusing them or nothing, but just saying with what many people are thinking.
No, we're not accusing, but guys, you can put lipstick on a pig and it's still a pig. Let me tell you something. Hatfields and McCoys know something about pigs. But you can make something look any way you want to make it look, but at the end, it's still what it is. We're talking hypothetically. I'm being devil's advocate. What if Chris and Katie did have something to do with it? What if? And all of a sudden, we start talking about it more. There's videos on it more. There's more people talking about it. There's more people searching. There's more. It comes back to life, and they say, goodness sakes, this is going to follow us the rest of our life. We might as well come clean, own it, and explain what happened. Could it have been an accident? Could it have been? Of course.
Sure. Anything's possible.
Of course. We don't know. And we're not accusing, but we're saying, what if? Just like what if a guilty party is watching these videos and they say, hey, I feel sorry for that mom and dad. I'm going to turn myself in. I feel sorry for this or that. I'm not going to go to heaven as long as I do this. I'm going to always have this on me until I repent and I come clean and I make it right, because the Bible says obey the law of the land. This is the law of the land.
It also says what's done in the dark will be brought to light.
And this may be brought to light through the good Lord right now. God may be touching somebody's heart and says, hey, you've done this long enough. You've tried to sell this story long enough. It's time to come clean. Come home. There's a song. Come home, it's supper time. What kind of life can a person have, no matter who it is, no matter if it's the parents, no matter if it's somebody else? What kind of life is this to go through every day of your life, knowing you may have got away with it,
or
somebody knows?
Is this the day that they come and arrest you too?
Somebody knows.
Yeah.
God knows. God's watching.
Definitely.
You're going to carry it through the rest of your life. You're going to try to have a life. You're going to try to act like it didn't happen. Imagine if they did anything or had anything to do with this. Ever who it is. It doesn't matter who the party is. Imagine ever who had something to do with this, the nightmares, waking up in cold sweats. Sebastian himself, again, say we don't believe in spirits. We believe in God. We believe anything is possible with God, and God works in mysterious ways. We don't believe in spirits, that ghosts and things like that people go around and look for orbs and pictures and things. We don't believe in that. But do we believe that you'll be woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and Sebastian be standing in front of you and you're wondering how that happened? What's going on here? Well, I'll tell you what's going on there. That's God working.
That is hilarious, because we had in our chat way a while back, some of you may remember, we were kind of like saying, oh, Sebastian, if he isn't alive, is haunting the F out of you too. So that's kind of funny.
He's working on you.
Oh,
he's giving you a chance.
God. I still think he's alive, though. I do.
Not because
I know that's not what I said
Sebastian
before,
is, but
I do now.
Because they know where he is. When I say when they know. I'm talking about anybody. I'm talking about the perpetrator or perpetrators. That could include, I'm not going to rule out Chris and Katie. Chris and Katie didn't want to talk to Sheila and I. Why? That's a question we'll always have. When we can give you some attention, when we can give you some notoriety where you can talk to people and explain your case and explain what may have happened. Let's go look. Let's go find. He said he showed this special investigator all over the place, private investigator. We're not private investigators.
Oh.
Well, I know exactly why they're not talking, and that's because Christopher Proudfoot gets caught in a lie every time he does an interview. Because, you know, when you lie, you have so many of them, it's really hard to remember what you said last time. And even in this interview, he's found contradicting other statements he made that y'all pointed out in the chat. So, of course, if I was Christopher Proudfoot and Katie Proudfoot, and I knew that someday there might be some shackles attached to me as I led into a police car and I have an attorney and a private eye, they're going to be telling us, don't do any darn interviews where you're going to get yourself into trouble and your statements, your conflicting statements are going to be shown to a jury of your peers or, yeah. That's why he doesn't want to do an interview.
We're just,
in my opinion,
simply looking for Sebastian. If he'll show a private investigator around, why won't he show us?
He probably would. I said he probably would if we get the, you know, if they call and say, hey, come on down, we'll do the interview.
We're open, ain't we? Talk to them.
Yeah, we would love to be able to come down and talk to you all, guys. All you have to do is call us. You all have our number in your phone.
606-669-0364. You'll see it on these text messages. That was my phone that I was using to text him back and forth, and started out real good. And then it
fizzled out.
He was going to check with Katie and nothing. Yeah. Why? Does that raise doubt in Fred McCoy's mind? Yeah, raises doubt. It's called a clue, a possible clue. Doesn't mean nobody's guilty of nothing. But what would the purpose of that be? At least text back and say, I don't know what you could say to explain it, because it would have to be pretty good for me to for me to understand why you wouldn't want to talk about your son and his disappearance.
Yeah.
But it's explainable. And like Sheila says, we can still do it.
Yeah. And the good thing about God's grace is he always gives you time to come clean and repent of your sins.
Yeah. And that may be what he's doing now, Sheila. There's everybody that we know of is still here. We don't know of anybody that's been looked at or accused or anything with dealing with Sebastian that's deceased now. So anybody that could have had anything to do with it or had anything are still alive. So God's not taking nobody home yet. He's still giving everybody plenty of time to think about this and say, hey, this ain't working out.
Yeah.
This ain't working out.
I'm miserable.
I don't care if I'm free the rest of my days. I'd rather go spend 5 or 6 years. I'd rather go, there's people out there, guys, see, I don't care when it gets past a certain point and your heart's broke and it's over with. It's like the Johnny Edrington case. There's a state trooper here in Kentucky that was killed 37 years ago. At this point, I don't care if the person that done it serves a day. Give the family the truth. Give the family the satisfaction of knowing what happened to their loved one, so they don't have to live with these rumors that started over the years. Just like with Sebastian. Did he wander off? Did he do this? Was he abused? Was he this, that? I don't care if anybody ever spends a day. Make a deal. Make a deal with the prosecutor. Go get a lawyer and let that lawyer work for you, because they will. Go get you the best defense attorney.
Well, Fred, I would bet money on the fact that they already have a lawyer, and that's exactly why they're not doing interviews and why you pulled this one out from months ago, because that's very interesting and shows some discrepancies with what's been said before. So kudos to you and Sheila. However, I would bet dollars to donuts they have an attorney who's told them to shut the F up, Chris. Because every time you go on social media, you accuse someone, yell at someone, or contradict yourself with a bunch of lies. And those are going to come to haunt you when you get to court, if ever that day comes, and God willing it comes. I would bet dollars, lots of them if I had them, that's exactly why Chris and Katie are quiet right now. And that's exactly why they hired SF Investigates to come up with a defense for them against these flashlight videos that Chris himself says now are some relevance here. But the thing that Chris forgets is we can see you guys go back into your home, Chris. who are you going to come up with? Who are you going to get to help you come up with an excuse for that reality?
And tell that defense attorney, hey, how bad do they want his body? We don't care if he's under the Empire State Building. They'll get him. They'll dig what remains are left of. We'll put him in a grave with a tombstone and he'll be remembered. We don't care what kind of deal the attorney makes. I know there's people out here disagrees with this. I'm talking for Fred and Sheila. We don't care because God will have his justice in the end. But make a deal and say, hey, we'll show you where the body is. We'll tell you what happened.
Here's
It
what
was an accident. We panicked. This happened, that happened. Or if he was picked up, again, not accusing nobody,
Crime of
but I'm looking at everybody.
Mhm.
I'd be foolish to sit here and act like I wasn't looking at everybody. And what convinced me to look at everybody was when it was cut off. No reply back. Why?
Yeah.
Did they think that Fred and Sheila might have been going to pick up on something? I do.
Yeah.
I do. I like to think that.
Yeah. Because he said he
Damn
was open to it.
straight.
Well,
Damn
saying something,
straight.
Oh,
They
saying
he was
something-
knew.
Okay.
See, you're thinking, that's good. I love you. I love her. You got to love her. But that's the way some people
Well,
think.
he made his word.
There's good Christian people out there right now thinking the same thing. You've got to look at the good in people. You've got, maybe he meant well.
Mhm.
Maybe he did.
Because
On my side, dealing with bad people for 40 years, I'm
Yeah.
thinking, no, he was just saying that
that's what we wanted to hear.
because that's what he thought would get us off his back. And then he didn't
Oh.
text no more. We're
Yeah.
off his back until this happened. Then all of a sudden we're burdened. Sheila and I come home from talking to Jaden's parents and knowing that something was going to get done. We figured they went that day and turned themselves in, but we knew something was going to happen no matter how it was brought out.
Mhm.
We feel and will always feel, we felt and will always feel that we had something to do with that.
That's
Now-
in our opinion. So
And instead of enjoying that moment,
Yeah.
right off the bat,
Sebastian.
Sebastian started coming up again. So now we're burdened with Sebastian. Now we're burdened. If we don't say something, if we don't do something, that's on us.
Yeah. Well, I've been praying so that God brings, like I said, what's done in the dark to the light and brings whoever had anything to do with harming Sebastian will be brought to justice.
I believe it,
So-
babe. I believe it. You've got me. You convinced me, girl. What if there's only one person that was involved?
Could have been.
What if there was only one person that was involved? Guys, I'm gonna tell you something. If Sheila done something right now and she needed help covering it up, she ain't gonna do nothing because Sheila's one of the finest people I've ever met in
Aw,
my
thank you,
life. Her
sweetheart.
mother, my mother, people like that. If she needed help, count on me, babe. I'm there with you. That's me. That's a lot of husbands out there. That's a lot of
Mhm.
people. Anyhow, I didn't go say that because I don't think Sheila would. I think
I'm sorry.
some people, that's okay. I respect you for that because
Yeah.
that's the way she lives. That's why I believe in.
Well,
That's why I'm so convinced that there's still good people left in this world. I would do it for her, but she wouldn't do it for me. I don't. She.
I don't know if you would do that either,
I
to
would
be
do it.
honest, because of your.
I would do it.
Okay,
Now I'm not the Christian. I don't
I'm talking about
profess
the
to be.
police.
It ain't that. It ain't that. It's the ideal of you needing something and me being there for you.
Yeah.
Guys, we're getting way off topic.
Sorry.
But I'm trying to prove a point here. The
Yeah.
question was, would either, if Chris had done something, would Katie help him cover it up?
Sure.
If Katie's done something, would Chris help her cover it up?
Yeah.
Can we hold that against them? Are they responsible? Is God still going to hold them? Of course he is.
Is that the pact when Chris slipped and said the word pact? Yes. Is this the pact he's talking about? The Navy's pact of silence and the code of ethics that you protect your brothers, just like the pact, the brothers in blue, the police have, that we've all heard about. And, like you said, somebody in the chat, the pact in marriage, right? Like, oh, I know, sweetie. I know. I don't see. I agree with Marie Curie. I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to plead to his sense of religion and his honor and doing the right thing and God and all that. But I agree. Regrettably, I don't think that's going to reach Chris. Likely not KP either, although we could hope. But let's listen. We got just a couple more minutes, and then I'm going to get ready for my 7 p.m. live on Emmanuel Herald.
That happens in life and that can be explained. Was it just like this one here that she said, we don't believe this one. We believe it was more. We believe they didn't want to deal with Jaden. But on somebody
Sebastian.
else's part, could they have given too much medicine to have a moment alone? That little fella, I'll tell you what we can say about him. He ate a good last meal.
He
I don't
did.
care if it was his last meal from leaving home or if it was the last meal here on earth.
that little fella was putting it away.
No.
Now, Katie, I didn't see but a little bit of that video because they don't show it all.
Right.
But Katie is,
No, I thought
she's
that was weird.
all over that place. Does that make her guilty? No. But what was that all about? What was she looking for? Who was she looking for? We don't know. You know, the police ain't showed a whole lot of stuff. And after a case goes so long, the police should turn that file loose, open it up, let people look at what's in that, because they may be some better investigators out here in YouTube land that's never been cops than what they are on certain police forces.
Well, they might, like you said, see it through a different set of eyes and pick up on something that was right there the whole time, but they just didn't catch it.
Is one of them
Somebody else.
covering for the
Yeah, but I attribute that, and maybe I'm wrong, Joni. I attribute that to SF Investigates, who, you know, I think when they saw this flashlight video, right, they first dismissed it, and then Mob Crew, kudos to him, has done a stellar job with that. And I think they knew now they had to come and combat some sort of defense against that it's clear there's a car. Now they're coming up with a defense against that, and they hire SF Investigates to try to come up with a defense on that, which is this walking the dog BS. And probably if we drove Sebastian in a car, what cameras could have found us and could the police have had access to? And we better find where those cameras are. So yeah, you're darn right. But I think they probably had the help of SF Investigates for that. Just my 2 cents.
other? That's my point.
Possible.
Is one of them covering for the other? If you are, and that person's covering for you, you should say, hey, listen, thank you. You've done good enough. You've stuck with me to the end, and your love is proven. And I'm sorry I put you through this, but it's time that we come clean.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell what happened, but I'm going to make sure that they don't hold you responsible.
Yeah.
You get a good lawyer, and the lawyers can make these deals with prosecutors.
Mm-hmm.
It's let's make a deal in the court system. The criminal justice system is let's make a deal. And it's what kind of trader you got, what kind of barter you are. You got to get the best barter out there, the best lawyer out there. Lawyers don't only have to know the law, they have to know how to wheel and deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's years and years I've always said a good lawyer knows the law. A great lawyer knows the judge.
Yeah.
A great defense attorney knows the prosecutor. Because the judge has very little. The judge just finalizes things.
Okay.
Your prosecutor and your defense attorney, that defense attorney going out to the prosecutor and say, hey, listen, I got you something. I'm going to take you to Sebastian Rogers' remains, but it's going to cost.
Mm-hmm.
Some people's not going to like it, but you're never going to find him. You're never going to know where he's at. It's going to be a cold case for the rest of your life. People.
I hear what you're saying, Joni. I'd have to get on a map, but I think Jen may be able to answer this, but I suspect not that, because I think it could be, but I think there would be other cameras, like he said, if there's 400 cameras along the way, but you could be right. You could be right. You know, I can't say for sure. You could be right.
People want to come clean. They want to clear their conscience, and they want to give somebody a decent burial.
Yeah.
And here's what I want. This one here is not involved. He's free or she's free. This one here, it was an accident. This happened, that happened. We want the minimum. We want stock probation. We want, I don't care what they want, prosecutor, give it to them. We want Sebastian back.
Yeah.
The public wants Sebastian back.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question.
Go ahead, back.
So like it was, I'm not saying it's the Proudfoots or nothing, but what if it was like a couple or whatever, and the one person did it and the other person's helping them cover it up or whatever. So would they be charged with accessory, or
Are you not listening? Are you not listening to the game plan to the play? Yeah.
complicity or
Maybe they wouldn't be charged. It's up to what the defense attorney works out with the prosecutor. If he goes in there and or she goes in there and says, we've got the body. You're never going to find this body. Nobody's ever going to know what happened. You can go through the rest of our lives and people can wonder. We can give you Sebastian back.
okay.
We can have a decent burial. We can do this. We can do that. This person or that person wants this in this
Person
deal.
to be-
Now,
right.
do we just say not going to do it? We're not going to do it. Walk away.
Okay, gotcha.
Because without a body and without witnesses and it going this long,
Yeah.
short of somebody, short of the perpetrator slipping somewhere, and they will someday. Somebody may slip, and that's the thing about people. They've got to go through their whole life wondering, "Am I going to slip today? Am I going to?" And that
Just to
may
make
be
that-
why we don't get interviews. The less interviews you do, the less
You have to worry about.
unless you have to worry about slipping.
Mhm.
Now, does that make anybody guilty? It doesn't.
No.
Katie and Chris, it doesn't. We're not saying that. We have our own opinion now. We've drawn a conclusion,
Mhm.
and we would love for people to prove us wrong. But you don't have to talk to us.
Mm-mm.
Go find who I'm talking to here. I'm talking to the guilty party
There you go.
or parties.
Yeah. Right.
Go talk to a good defense attorney. A good defense attorney would love to have this case.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a charge to it, well, we'll take up money. We don't have the money. I was going to say we'll pay for it. We ain't got no money to pay for nothing, but we'll get a collection and pay for the attorney fees to have Sebastian back.
Yeah.
I think a good defense attorney would do it for free
Mhm.
just to get Sebastian back and do his part or her part for.
To get closure. Yeah. Oh.
Does it weigh on them that they are also causing that person's soul to be in jeopardy because of what they did or are doing? If two people's involved and only one of them did it, does it weigh on them that you're going to cause that person to go to hell the rest of eternity, to be in hell because they stuck up for you like that?
Mhm.
How can you prove your love for somebody any more than that?
Yeah. Oof.
And that person for covering them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Song comes to mind. Now, we can't play it. We was going to play. Oh Lord, I'm drawing a
It's,
blank.
it was
Song they sang. Billy Graham sang
Yeah.
at the end of his thing.
come as is it
Come
just
as you are?
Just come as I am.
Is it really worth getting away with murder or homicide or death or
Mhm.
manslaughter or recklessness or
Mhm.
negligence or spend eternity
okay.
in hell? Is it really worth it? And you know that song? It says one dark blot. The second verse, one dark blot. This is a dark blot in somebody's life. This is a dark blot. You know, somewhere through here, Sheila will show or has shown. We found a plaque. We were going through Josh and them's garbage.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Go ahead, babe. Tell him.
Yeah, when we went out back of their home there, their trailer, Fred found these plaques that were thrown out in the trash, and he would read them and then he placed them on their back porch because he said he felt like.
You know, the
they were
one was
away.
Matthew 7:7. She'll post it about right here.
Mhm.
Matthew 7:7. Ask and it will be given. Seek and you will find. Knock and the
It
door will
shall
open.
Yeah.
Matthew 7:7. Imagine all the Bible verses in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And that Bible verse was thrown away in a pile of garbage. We were looking through the garbage not for Jaden. We was looking for clues, something else that may have been in there. Medicine bottles, anything. We could have come across anything, but we found that.
Mm-hmm.
Seek and ye shall find. Keep on seeking, people. Keep on asking questions. Keep on.
Yep.
Because we think that one dark blot that somebody has got on their heart is going to be the key here. We think instead of being mean to people, talking bad to people, let's kill them with love. Kill them with love. Kill them with prayer. Well, let's don't use the word kill.
But yeah.
Kill them with kindness.
They know what you're talking about.
That's what I'm getting to when you was a kid and people would say, your grandma would say, oh, don't be mean to them. Just kill them with kindness. Catch more bees with honey than vinegar.
That's right.
We sure haven't done no good with vinegar. No YouTuber, no newscast, nobody, no investigators has done any good with vinegar. Let's use some honey. Let's use some kindness and say, guys, we'd like to bring that little boy home.
Yes, Lord.
One dark blot on their heart right now, on somebody's heart.
Somebody's got the weight of the world.
Why let it go any longer? Come clean, call the police, confess, and then ask for forgiveness. Now, you can do that. You can call the police.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that. I don't look for nobody to do that. I think they're too smart for that. People's been around too long.
Yeah.
You don't have to call the police. Call you a good defense attorney. Let's make a deal. Take care of yourself. I don't care. Give us Sebastian.
Mm-hmm.
Give us Sebastian. Give the world, the United States. He forgave the thief on the cross.
Yeah.
He'll forgive you.
Mm-hmm.
But first, you've got to ask forgiveness and you've got to do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know, and I don't want to get on this topic because this is a big topic and we're trying to stick with Jaden or Sebastian. I'm sorry, but we have been through a lot, guys. We're old. We got a lot on our minds.
Yeah. It's all good. No worries.
Well, I've lost my train of thought.
Just talking
now.
about
So much on my mind. Thief on the cross, ask forgiveness.
Yeah.
You guys ever thought about why is S-side? I'm gonna say it one time. Why is suicide? Everybody says that's not forgivable. Why is that? Because we didn't ask forgiveness for it. Because we've done it. You can't commit an offense, a crime, a this and that, and then ask forgiveness.
Right.
Because you're deceased. Now you can ask forgiveness for this, but you've got to make it right. You've got to make it right first. You've got to confess.
Mm-hmm.
But first,
Okay.
you have to make amends. First, you have to tell where Sebastian is.
Right.
Let all of his family mourn him
Yes.
property.
Get a
Let
closure.
us give him a proper burial.
Yep.
Not necessarily us, but the United States.
Right. The
Sebastian's
families,
family.
for the world. Yeah. Like you
It's
said.
time, you know, it's time. And you know it's time to do the right thing. I'm sorry to have to read, guys, but Sheila and I have talked about this. We've prayed about it.
Yes. If you need to make a deal with the authorities to protect the other person, that's just fine. We just want Sebastian, like you said.
Listen here.
For two or more involved, one will talk.
Sometimes, most of the time, if the deal's good enough, or if they fall out, they break
Get upset.
up, they get upset with each other, whether it's friends, family, marriages, it don't matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People are more forgiving than you think, but first you have to make amends and correct your wrong, and then ask forgiveness. All have sinned and come short. Guys, ever who's listening out there, if you had anything to do with this, thank you, Lord, that's all of it. I'm sure
Yes.
you are thanking the Lord right now that's all of it, to quit from listening to me. But
No, we just pray that if anybody out there, whoever has done this, that you please come forward and tell the truth, give the family closure, give yourself some rest from this, because I can't imagine going through life knowing that you've done this and you're worried every day. Is this the day that?
is this the day you're going to die? Is this the day that you're going to go to judgment?
Mm-hmm.
I know what you're saying too, babe. I agree
Yes.
with what you're saying.
Yes.
Well, I'm trying to cover all bases here. So God, we're trying to put if you haven't figured it out, we're trying to put a guilt trip on you. God has told us that everything else has been tried. Your people's not going to break. I don't know who it is.
No,
if it's the family, if it's somebody that we've never even looked at, we don't know who it is.
Right.
But we have been burdened to say, hey, you're tough. Nobody's broke. You got away with it. Now, how big a person are you? How big a person are you? How big is our God? Can he burden your heart so bad
he can send you
with guilt?
Mm-hmm.
What, babe?
He can send you with convictions. He can lay them on you so thick and heavy that you can't withstand it.
And that's what we're doing. That's what we're trying. We're not trying to threaten you with jail. We're not trying to threaten you with taking your
freedom or whatever.
Freedom. Thank you, babe.
Mm-hmm.
We're begging.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video here.
Do you think their strategy is going to work? I'd like to think it will, but I really, really doubt it. Let me know what you thought of this. I thought it was great. I like their insight afterwards as well. We saw some conflicting stories. I was hoping for more, but we got some good stuff out of it. And kudos to them. They were absolutely stellar and wonderful and kind as heck. And came to the conclusion at the end that a lot of us have, which is really interesting because they went into it really innocently from what they said as well at the beginning. So do all the YouTube things. Thanks for being here. It is 10 to 6 p.m. Eastern. In an hour and 10 minutes, I'll be live. Yeah, no kidding. I know. They sure were. I agree, Joni. So everybody stick with me. I'll be live in an hour and 10 minutes. We're going to do more Manuel because that's just a wild case. So thank you for being here. Do the YouTube things, and hopefully we'll see some of you in an hour and 10 minutes when we do the 7 p.m. Eastern Emmanuel Harrow live with all the new updates. I'm like,